Twitch channel, basically. Now, I figured that we should start off kind of so you know where we're all arguing from is like the baseline. Basically, start off with what our rules and our chats are. Give a little summary of them. That way, everyone knows where we're coming from. So, Merce, since you're the guest, what do you ban people for? What do you hate people for? Tell me.
See,
A straight up ban.
It's funny because I actually mostly refrain from banning people. I will say give them a timeout first, and then if they don't learn their lesson, then if they're continuing to be, kind of an arsehole, then ban them. But for the most part, for me, it's just like, don't be a dick in my chat. Like, don't spread love, not chlamydia, is actually one of my rules. But
nice.
I have like a lot of yeah, no venereal diseases, please. But I rarely ever ban or time out anybody. I'll like talk to them via the stream, but most of my viewers are really great, so I don't need to like super enforce my rules. But it's hard for me currently because I have lots of people coming in and self-promoting without permission or without like my knowledge of like, oh, I know that they stream and or they're like, they're a huge supporter of the community, yada yada yada, but they'll just go in and be like, oh yeah, no, I was streaming this other day and blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
and it's hard for me because I love everybody. I'm a lover, not a fighter, so it's hard because I don't want to be like the dick that's like, hey, don't talk about your life. Like if I ask, then go for it. Like fly at her, but don't expect that me saying, oh, how did your stream go, gives you the right to like just all of a sudden advertise your cast throughout my entire cast.
A lot of people do take it that way, so it's hard to work off of that basically. But Sunday, what are your rules?
I mean, my rule panel straight up says just don't be a shitter. The mods will time you out. But I can elaborate a little bit on that. So basically, I try not to ban people because I believe there's goodness in everybody, no matter what they come in and say. But I mean, they're straight up coming in and saying like the N-word or whatever, and just being racist and hateful towards everybody. So I'll ban them for that because they don't have any plans on staying. But if they're just coming in and saying, hey, you're ugly, you have pink hair, Gaylord, whatever, I'll be like, hey, that's cool, what up?
Yeah.
and I'll just have some fun with them,
Mm-hmm.
But the thing I hate most in terms of my unwritten rules is when another streamer will come in and they have the audacity, like Merce said, to talk about their day. Like, this is my stream, asshole. And that sounds like narcissistic as heck.
What, your mother died and you need a friend and you're sad? Fuck you.
I don't know.
Like, they talk about their stream. Like,
yeah,
I
their
just
stream.
This game and this happened and it was really fun.
I know what he meant. It's not what he said though. So.
Yeah. Like I can understand wanting to like when I come in, like let's say I come into your channel and you say, oh hey Merce, like how's your day going? I can say, I streamed earlier, and that should be all that I mention. I shouldn't then go on to tell you, oh, I played this game, and then this.
I even feel uncomfortable when I say that, even though I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't have a problem with that. But I just say when somebody comes in and they're like, hey, I'm a streamer, what's up? Or even if they're like,
yeah,
like nobody cares, nobody gives a shit. People are here to watch me. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Bones, what are your rules?
I don't really have any rules. I just
Fucking
say,
anarchists.
yeah, don't be an asshole. But I will like how it works. I think for everybody is there's the tolerance goes up. Like if someone who's been in my chat every day, like and who is an actual becomes like an actual friend of yours, like the shit tolerance that they can get away with gets higher and higher. But if it's like the first thing they say and you've like never seen them before, you're like, get the fuck out of here, ban. But if like Ivy comes along and boom, you're like, well, it's Ivy. I know Ivy, so whatever.
Ivy, you can get away with being racist in Nick's chat.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Wow.
Just a smidgen of racism.
So,
I mean,
what about you, Jordan?
I'm gonna be honest with everyone. I'm probably the strictest out of all these people because I purposely try to guide my conversations and stream towards certain goals and stuff like that.
You just don't like talking to people about their personal life.
No, it's not even that. It's just like
I've seen Jordan ban someone who asked him for a hug.
I put here.
Oh, exposed.
I'm joking.
If someone doesn't if someone comes in my chat and acts counterintuitive to the way that the group works, I don't ban them, but I also like I'm like okay, it's kind of like it's not necessarily rules. It's more of like there's kind of like there's a social stigma around doing certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So like if someone just comes in and is like, yeah, I hate people. I'm like, in like a racist way. I'm like, okay, you need to fucking stop like now, or there's gonna be problems, and that's all they get.
I mean, when it comes to stuff like that, there's definitely a silver lining, I guess. Like, there's people who come in and say, "Oh, I've had a bad day. My girlfriend broke up with me, or whatever." Like, I'll talk to you about it. That's cool. But if someone comes in and they say, "I want to kill myself," I'd be like, "Okay, sorry. PM me if you want to." Like, you don't talk for that in
call
chat.
the suicide prevention line.
Yeah.
We can't help
Yeah.
you.
That's not something you come into chat and say.
I-
I'm sure a lot of people come because they genuinely get help from talking to people on Twitch. I'm sure of that, but that doesn't fly in most people's streams.
This is a touchy subject. I've had this happen to me before. A lot of people say I'm an asshole for it, but no, like it's not like even people like joke around. I'm kind of like even when people joke around like you know I'm kind of like indifferent if you're joking about.
Yeah.
But there are people who are like man, I'm just so depressed, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm like, you need to fuck off because you don't mean it, and two, this isn't something to take lightly. All right,
Well,
and
you never know if they mean it. They
You don't-
might.
you
Yeah, I don't assume stuff like that.
I've had people.
I just don't let it fly in
You're
the chat.
probably right.
I have
but
a
yeah, like
specific
Sunny said,
scenario.
it's
A
probably
guy
not
came
good to
into my
assume it.
chat and he's like, "Well, I'm just gonna." He was being a dick. I'm like, "Well, you need to fuck off." And he's like, "Well, I'm just gonna kill myself then." And I was just like, You know what? You don't even get to do that. You're
Yeah.
permanently banned. Get the fuck out of my face."
Okay, well that's how you handle that situation. If he was being a dick in the first place, that's a whole different scenario
Yeah.
than someone that, like, okay, here
Like
is. Sorry.
I was gonna say there's certain topics that is just like it's not, in my opinion, no matter how much shit posting people can get away with, they're just not cool to joke about, and that's like rape, being sexist, being racist, and suicide. It's
Well-
not like that's not cool to joke about.
I hate saying this, but I'm
I know what you're gonna say too.
I am a comedian. There is no line.
There should be no boundaries.
There is no-
for
Yeah.
comedic value.
in my opinion, there is no line that you can cross.
Mhm.
There in comedy there's no line. Like sure in certain social circumstances there is no line. As a comedian, there is no line because you are making jokes. You are not being serious in any sense of the word when you're saying the things you're saying.
Mhm.
So if I'm putting on a show and I'm making a joke, like and I'm like I make some like really like offensive joke, like I'm not doing it because like I'm an
Women's
asshole.
suffrage.
I'm doing it
Yeah.
because it's funny. It's messing
Yeah.
with the context of the situation to make something seem funny. If someone's just like in chat and is like, "Man, I really wish all those Jews would die," like that's different,
Oh yeah,
And it's
Oh,
really hard to tell the implication when somebody's typing in chat rather than talking to you in real life. That's another problem, and that's unavoidable because you can't. It's really hard to tell if somebody's trying to be sarcastic or ironic. But that's why there needs to be chat etiquette so people know not to do specific things that a streamer can get away with because he has inflection on his voice rather than just typing words in the chat.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
when you talk, people can tell you're saying when you type things like, sure there's Kappa, but you're always kind of like, did they really like are they really anti-Semitic? Like I can't tell.
Kill the
you know?
Jews, Kappa.
Yeah, it's like
I was in somebody's stream one time, and it was this Minecraft stream. I think I've told the story before, and his title said "Don't ask for the server IP." He was on a whitelisted server, so I go in the chat and I thought, okay, well I'm gonna be funny. I said, "Can I have the server IP Kappa?" He said, "No, permaband." I think that's a good example of being too strict in the chat. Of course, it's his opinion and he can do whatever he wants with his chat. There's no Twitch terms of service that says you can't do that. Like you can have racism allowed in your chat. That's fine. Twitch might ban you because you're being offensive, but they might ban you. It doesn't fall on the streamer to control their chat.
yeah.
That was just my one gripe with the
Yeah.
specific streamer.
people think Twitch is enforcing us to enforce rules. They're not. They're
No.
the only rule they're making us enforce.
It's really important to know this.
The only rule they're making us enforce, basically, is don't have an audience that was like brigading people. Because if you brigade people,
Yeah.
that's on you. That's not on anyone else. Every other rule, like if someone's being racist in a chat, don't be like.
And anything that you're controlling, like you can you can endorse racism in your chat, and at that point you're being toxic, and people have been banned from Twitch for being toxic before. Look at Grow Score. Like, I don't want to name names, but there's just an example
That
right
was
there.
like a severe like libel
Yeah, that was
suit,
severe.
though. Like
Yeah, but there's been
who was
others
this?
that I can't name.
Okay, so there's a streamer named Grossigor who got banned from Twitch because he said that someone who works at Riot was basically a child rapist. So
Oh,
yeah,
Wow.
so he was banned instantaneously because the legal ramifications of that are insane. That
But
is
other than that,
defamation.
he also got. It wasn't just that. He got 2 warnings previous to that, and that's why he was banned, like months before. But he was just. He endorsed like racism in the chat and other stuff like that, and that falls on the streamer. If there are VODs that show that they're doing that, then they can get banned, but nobody else in the chat would be banned.
Yeah. No, if you see someone doing something that you think is like completely and utterly destructive towards the nature of Twitch, isn't technically on us to deal with it. You can report them to Twitch. Like, cause someone can go spout racism in my chat. I can only stop them in my chat, so it's not my job to go on a crusade to stop this person. Basically, is what we're saying.
yeah.
Other than that, Twitch is usually more strict than most streamers when it comes to chats. Honestly, like I'm the one here who's when I look at especially I'm gonna pull out Sunday because I know his chat the most. There's shit that goes on in Sunday's chat sometimes, and I'm like, that wouldn't fly. Like, that guy is a fucking idiot.
No, I say this. I say
Yeah.
the same thing. I mean, Sunday stream sometimes I'm like,
Come
man,
on.
that guy is so annoying. Like,
on,
I
back
would
me up.
totally ban him. Like, not
You
like
just-
any of your. It's not your regulars. I like your regulars, but like, there's some random people that I'm just like, man, I'm so glad they're not in my chat.
I'm just way more lenient with people because
You are lenient.
I don't believe in first impressions. I think
But
that's dumb.
aren't
I want to
you-
get to know the person before I ban
But
them.
aren't you worried that like new toxic people will scare off like your actual people that you do like? Like, you want to make a good community.
That gives me
Well,
more
you
of an
can't-
impression of the
you
people
can't
that I
let the
like.
community get ruined by like people. You need every community, every city needs law.
Yeah,
It
dude,
needs
like
order.
eugenics.
Law
They
and
come
order.
out. You make sure the ones
Yeah,
that are
but-
toxic
but-
can't breed. Cut off their dicks. Come on, dude.
But
Eugenics.
Cut off the head.
Nick, the people
Yeah.
that are in my stream are the same as me, most of them anyway.
Most.
They'll be lenient they'll be lenient with the new people that come in. So if there's a new guy that comes in, none of them are going to get scared away. If they do, then that tells me something about them.
And like, I mean, there's also the circumstance of mods. Like, I have a couple mods and they show up very, very sporadically. But when I've been a mod in somebody's channel before, if I see somebody like that that's, taking away from what I think the community is about or what I know that the streamer wants to make their community about, I'll whisper them rather than like outright getting the streamer to ding them out in chat. I'll whisper them and say, hey, that's not really how we do things around here. If you could tone that down a little bit. Like, I had one guy, even in my own personal chat, he was just kind of being ridiculous and capping and everything. And one of my mods was just like, hey, you can calm down. Like, we want you to be here, but just calm down a little bit. And sure enough, yeah, they calmed down.
Dude, I have the best fucking mods. Real talk. I had a mod purge recently. I think we all have good mods. I had a mod purge, well, not recently, a few months ago, and I ended up unmodding like 4 people, and it really sucks when you have to unmod people because usually they're people you know really well and have been there for a while, but they're just people and they can have tendencies, like negative tendencies, just like anybody else can in the chat. And if they start going downhill in your opinion, then you have to do what you can to keep the positive vibes flowing,
Yeah.
Yeah, because it should all be about positivity. That's what it all should be about, dude.
That's what I find that my channel's about. I mean, I call my viewer base the Mr. Merce family because I really do. I want to bring back that idea of couch gaming. I remember back in the day when I would play games and my brothers
Back in the
sister would would be sitting there like watching me play. But I mean, that makes it seem like I'm super selfish and I think, oh, I'm the best at games. I suck. Like, I suck at video games, but I like the idea of camaraderie and how video games bring people together. And I feel that that's been very dissociated, like among gamers. I think it's just become about, everything's online. You have the wall of the internet. It's not really I don't know.
So you're not saying you want to be the center of attention when you stream. You want it to be focused on everybody that's there.
Yeah, like the community, you know? I mean, I'm playing the game, but I want people to, give their part, and I want people to chat and talk, and I want to talk and chat with them, and
You want people to hang out, not just watch.
exactly. Like I feel like
I'm being
one of
bullied.
the community.
Marissa, some backstory. I don't know if you watched a really old podcast we did. It was community versus entertainment streams, basically arguing that focusing more on growing your community as a whole rather than trying to entertain the people that come in.
It was
Is-
entertainment versus community, and Jorb's all about the entertainment. He
I'm
just
very-
wants to entertain people.
I am very
make people
adamant.
laugh.
I am very, very adamant about making sure that my stream is a show first, making sure people laugh first over anything in the chat. Because I want people to laugh, and I want to make sure that I help people's days. And I want to
see,
do it by making them laugh, not by sitting there and talking to them about their problems. Because
Absolutely.
people can do that better than I can. I'm not a psychiatrist. I make dick jokes.
And like
I just do what I want. I don't care.
I think that if we compare myself and you, Jorp, I'm selling myself, but you're also selling yourself. It's just in a different way. You are primarily there to be entertaining. I'm kind of there to hang out, and if I'm entertaining while I do it,
I mean,
sometimes I'm funny. Come on.
And there's nothing.
I mean, there's
wrong
also
with
some
that.
crossover.
Sometimes.
There's also some crossover. There are community streamers. I don't think there's too much of a difference between community streamers and entertainment streamers, honestly. But there are community streamers that can use the chat as like, I don't know. They can use the chat to their advantage to be more entertaining, rather than just the game, and that makes the people in the chat and the viewers feel more involved. I think that's cool, rather than just the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool, but usually every single time I've done something with the chat, it's always turned out terribly. Like it just turns into the same like rehash of jokes. And I don't know, I'm just one of those person that I can't like say the same things over and over every day to a certain extent, because there's context where it's funny, because it hits the point where you said it so many times. Like I could make up a joke for a year, and like at that point it's funny because I've been doing the same shit for a year. The fact that I've been doing it so long repeatedly is funny. Like that's why it's. I'm not gonna get into logistics of what makes things funny, because I already wrote a comedy guide. Haha. But
It's so funny. Okay.
basically, basically, I want to bring something new to the table, as much as I can every day, within the context.
Then why do you meme so much? It's like the worst form of original comedy ever.
Because that's why it's funny.
Because it's easy.
No, that's why it's funny, is because you hear me like complain about memes, and the next minute I'm like, "Hey, Lamau, like that's the joke."
It's too easy, man.
Like when I sit there, like, man, I
Game
really,
is weak.
I have gone on tirades against memes, and then immediately afterwards, I was like, feels bad, man. like that's the joke. It's like it's because like it's
makes sense. It makes
juxtaposition,
Yeah.
He's a sellout.
It's just, like for me, the reason I started Twitch was because it goes years back into YouTube and stuff, but like I was lonely, I was depressed, and I reached out for some stupid reason to the internet, and I ended up finding little communities that I enjoyed being a part of, and then Twitch kind of happened randomly. That's a whole other story. If you want me to tell it, just let me know.
Let's talk about this, dude.
Okay, so I found Twitch because I was playing my least favorite game in the world, League of Legends.
Oh
And
God!
because I was playing it with my brothers.
I thought you were gonna say with your dick. I don't know why. Go on. I'm stupid. Go on.
With my brothers and one of my brother's friends, and they were like, "You're not very good, and you should be better." And I'm like, "Okay, how can I be better without should I just practice?" They said, "Well, watch Twitch. There's lots of streamers who are really good at League of Legends. Watch that, and you'll learn how to do it better." And I was like, "Okay, cool." I sat in a LOL stream for about an hour, and I was like, "This is so boring." And so what I did was I went to the pages that were live, like top pages, and I just scrolled down until I found something that wasn't League of Legends or CSGO. And the first stream I came up to, and this was like 2-3 years ago, was Cobalt Streak. And so I started watching him, and then the rest is history.
I don't
I
even know
started.
who that is.
He's a Isaac streamer.
What? Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm
he's
so
a-
sick of watching Ivy. When I started watching Twitch,
I've
every single did I say Ivy?
Yeah, you did.
Isaac. I meant to say Isaac. Sorry, Ivy. I'm so sick of watching Isaac streams. Like, oh my goodness. When my friend Sarah got me into watching a couple people on Twitch, and I was like, actually, this is really fun, and I could see myself getting into it.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Ivy.
All right, I'd actually like
And,
to talk about why we started Twitch because I haven't heard anybody's except for Bones's.
Yeah, and anyway, but everyone played Isaac, and I was like, I don't want to watch Isaac anymore ever.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember that. Everybody, like literally everybody played it when I first started watching you guys too.
Well, it was the game that wasn't CS:GO or League that you could play, and it was different. It was different than all the top games.
It was still a top game though,
Yeah.
but it was different. You're right.
Yeah. Like I really enjoy Isaac. I mean, on my channel, if I have nothing to
I
do
have
or
hundreds
nothing
of
set up,
hours in it, so I'm not even gonna get into this.
I've got 1,001%. Like I've completed the game.
Oh,
to the most
Merce
completeness.
is better than I am. Then all right, I'm only Plat
No.
God. I'm only Plat God, so I'm fucking casual.
Yeah, I do eating streaks. I mean, I don't have one going on right now, but when I first started streaming on Twitch, I wanted to create that family atmosphere that you can just come into my chat and get loved on. I mean, take that out of context if you want to. Go for it. Get loved on, like jerking all over my face. I don't care, but
I'm
I just
sorry.
wanted
What?
people- I just wanted
I'm gonna go ahead and do
people
this real quick.
to come into my channel because they just want to hang out and have a good time. I love your face, Nick. I just love it. And
It does things.
I don't know. Like I started streaming Isaac, and I was like, I'm gonna complete this 2001%. Then I'm gonna start Eden streaking and chase down Lars Fest. And it was like, okay, that's not gonna happen because I'm not that good at the game. And then when I finished it, I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm gonna start Eden streaking now, and I did, and I started to get bored with it. And I was like, I really don't want to get typecast as an Isaac streamer because if you get typecast at a certain game, then people are going to consistently always ask for that game, and you are going to lose a lot of your viewership because they only want to watch you play X game.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about that? Like, I mean, I that's why I consider myself a variety streamer now because I don't want to be typecast as an Isaac streamer.
Well, specifically to Isaac, I have no clue. But when I first started streaming, I only streamed not CounterCast, fuck, Counter Strike, and Choice Chamber a lot. And when I streamed at Choice Chamber has its own big community that only watches Choice Chamber, of course, same with a lot of other games. But Choice Chamber really has a cult following. So when I streamed Choice Chamber, I'd get around, let's talk about viewers for a second. I'd get around like 20, 30 viewers. Then when I started Variety, I really dropped a lot, but that's to be expected. You can't hate yourself for that. It's nothing you're doing wrong. Just a lot of people want to watch that specific game, but you want people to watch you for you. What you're doing.
She
and that's the
watches
best
me
feeling.
for me, not because.
Is that really a song?
Are you
Why do you know every single song?
Jesus Christ.
She likes me for me, not because.
How- We're not
You
getting
guys
into
know that
this.
song? You guys- what the-
Every single
I
thing
just
that
changed
turns
likes
into a
with
song.
watches.
Yeah, no,
I
but
have a skill.
I'm the same
I
way.
have
You
a
do.
particular set of skills.
I would say that I'm like in the similar boat that you are, Sunday. I want people, if you want to come for the game,
Everybody should be like that.
but I
Look,
want you to
Snips
stay
did it
for
in
the
the chat,
community.
too.
Yeah,
The,
of course. I still want to talk about how I didn't hear how Jorpin started Twitch.
Yeah,
I
George.
never heard that.
you didn't read my Discord message that I put in the. You're gonna really make me read all this shit
No.
off again. You're gonna make me get all mushy.
No, don't read it off.
Let me
Just
get-
no,
let
you don't
me
have to
just-
get all mushy. You
Let me
don't
just
have to
enjoy a
include the
little
mushy
cat
stuff.
nap. You go ahead, Jorp.
No,
I-
I'll say mine after yours.
Taking a short nap.
I can't
Do you
without getting all mushy about it because that's what it is. So fuck it, whatever. So
Get
basically,
mushy.
I have a depression problem. I've been very open about this because there shouldn't be a stigma around it, and mine really reared its head when I started streaming because I was out of a job. I just got out of a really shitty job where I felt like shit every single day of my life, and I was like, man, I really can't keep sitting in my room alone all the time playing video games. I might as well just try and stream. I used to love it a lot. I've done it on and off, and I really need a reason to finish Persona. Basically, I'd never played a game until then. Or no, I finished Persona 4. I was like, man, I really need to finish Persona 3, so I'm just gonna stream it. So I started streaming it. That like just randomly one day when I had enough motivation, and then like my first couple people came in and we just started talking, and I was like, man, you guys really helped my day out. I'm gonna keep doing it. Here we are a year later. I'm a completely different person, and I make really good jokes about poop. The end.
Single tier.
That's awesome, man.
That's the short version. God, shut the fuck up. You're all stupid. I hate you.
Really glad I met
The
you.
the name of your what do you call it? Your biography will be Twitch makes the man. Twitch makes the man. Bravo.
Okay.
He grew up.
I can't say I can completely relate to you because I've never been diagnosed, but I would see that I could have some semblance of like a depression or an anxiety disorder, like to the point where it is like massively crippling. I can't say I understand where you're at because I hate it when people say that, like, "Oh, I understand." It's like, no, you don't get it. Like, you don't get it.
Dude, you're not my dad. You don't get me.
You can say
Shut
that.
up, Kevin.
Because we lost it all. Nothing lasts forever. Sorry.
Kill me!
Perfect.
Can't wake up.
Okay, I started.
Nothing lasts
On a different note.
forever.
I started. Josh was my only friend that I talked to, Bible Thump.
Nothing's changed.
Josh MC Straylock. He was the only person I would talk to before I started streaming. And his computer broke, and then I didn't talk to him for like 6 months. I just sit at home and play Dark Souls, and that's literally the only thing I did.
Whoa.
But no, I was also really tied up with school and stuff.
Yeah, no,
But-
no.
So I decided, hey, I'm gonna start streaming because I'd been watching Twitch for about 3-4 years since I decided I'd start, and it was just something for me to do at that point. Like it was a hobby, I guess. I just wanted to keep improving the broadcast, even if nobody was watching. Then I just wanted to keep improving myself and see what I could do. I love the technical things. Like it was really cool. So then I started to watch smaller streamers because I was only watching Soda Pop and these bigger streamers. I started to watch smaller streamers and decided there's some really shitty streamers. There's streamers that I feel like should show more transparency. I really hate it when streamers put on, like, I'm gonna say it, persona, and don't actually show their true self to their viewers, because when you're not transparent with your viewers, what do you get?
I'm sorry, it took me a second. I was like, why are you talking about Persona? Because I
Oh.
I thought we were talking about the game
Yeah.
for a second. Never mind. You're good. Sorry.
There's being entertaining
Persona?
and there's
What?
being a
What?
different
What?
person than you actually are. And I think a line should be drawn. And I think I want to draw the line.
I
I just want to be real.
I started streaming because where I grew up, where Dustin grew up, the school I went to, I was like one of the only kids in my class that liked video games, and I never really talked to people about video games like ever. So I played like all these RPGs, these JRPGs, and like just played them by myself and never talked to anyone about them. So eventually, when I actually like started streaming, I was like, holy cow, I just want to play these games and see if people come by, because I just want to talk like the Ogre Battle series. Like I'd never talked to anyone about those in like my entire life, and I was like I know people love this game, so I started by streaming like 4 of those like in a row, and like so many people came, and it was so great. And that's what I just want to do. I want to play games that I played growing up again, but this time be able to talk to people about them, because
Amen.
I really wanted to do that as a
Preach
kid.
it, brother.
That's why I started streaming.
I mean, that's a pretty common start, I think, Nick,
Oh,
compared
yeah.
to some of ours.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Why not? I started streaming for the cash, yo.
Okay,
No,
so like I know people who won't
Yeah,
say that on stream.
Did you see that tweet?
I know
Dude, I will say his name, okay?
the one I showed you. Did I see the one that I showed you? Yes, I did. Thank you.
The one Zach showed me? Or the one Zach showed you, and I think you showed
Yeah.
me?
What's this? Explain.
Okay, so I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want him to get any more attention than he deserves. So there is
Yeah.
there is a fighting game streamer who recently posted a tweet who's like $10 in the first hour I stop streaming with no cam, $20 by the second, and I turn cam on, or else I stop streaming. Basically, he's like, life's all about revenue. This is what you get to get my excellence,
What?
or some shit. Yeah, and I was just like,
Is he
go.
even is he partnered?
Yes, he is.
Oh my gosh. Are
But
you
he
serious?
doesn't get the viewers. He's just partnered because he's
talk about like etiquette
Those
though.
people.
Like that's shitty etiquette.
I think
Next
he
one.
has. You're gonna
Next
hate
week.
me. I think he has sort of a point. He was coming off super egotistical, but there's
Oh,
a
because
point
that's who he is.
somewhere deep down in there. Yeah.
He's the guy who shit talked this. Okay, so there's this. I'm just gonna say the video. There's video where he like shit talks another fighting game player, and like he didn't do like the fighting game player just sat there and like shook his head. Then he got his ass kicked 3-0, and he's like, in a couple months you're gonna. I remember the exact quote. In a couple of months you're gonna want to come back here. And you're gonna want to watch the taste of my dick out of your mouth, and like everyone just lost their mind, and because he was just shit talking the whole time. He was bullying this guy.
Yeah.
Like he's just sitting here like, oh, you target clothes looking ass piece of shit. Like, you suck at games.
And he was losing.
It was just like the middle school.
And he lost 3-0, and he said that afterwards. The guy who got like shit on. No, not the guy who got shit. The guy who got bullied. And I was like, everyone like lost their fucking mind, and it's like the best video ever.
My
It's the
God.
funniest thing, and he gets a lot of hate now, obviously, after he tweeted that thing
Yeah.
that Jordan was talking about.
Wouldn't
So I don't know.
I
I don't know
for me,
where he's going.
like the
Next
streamers-
week, streamer etiquette. Justin comes back for part 2.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, there are streamers I aspire to be. Like, I really like Rotato, because him and like Tiger Rider. They are, in my opinion, the epitome of like variety streamers, and it takes a lot more to grow variety than it does like the one game that you're good at or that everybody comes from.
By like a factor of 7. It's insanely hard.
Yeah. Oh wait, you were talking bullying, and there was something in my head, but it's gone
Well,
now.
there are certain. I can bring this back to Etiquette. I can do this. Don't worry about it. That's why I'm the host. I'm bringing it back. So there are some chats that are confrontational by nature. There are chats like yours, Mercer, where it seems based on what you've told me that are very like the hashtag positive vibes. I have a problem with that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Because
okay.
of people I know. I have no problem with you.
That's
You're
why
great.
this is a podcast. It's opinionated as heck.
I don't think people should be positive for no reason. I think there should be I think it's a yin and yang situation. There should be a balance. There should always be positivity, but if negativity is brought, if there is a necessity for negativity, or else it will not grow.
Oh no, I understand that. Like for me, it's not about hey, let's just all be positive all the time. It's like hey, I want a place that you guys can come to just like be who you are and be where you're at. Like if you're like I am having a shitty day and I am here still because I really love this community. I've seen other people in chat being like, I mean, however you want to take it, whether it's like, oh, they're just doing that because they are, or they actually legit care for this person. I mean, I have an exclamation hug command and an exclamation cuddle command, and people use it in chat to try to cheer people up. And like that warms my heart when I see stuff like that.
Yeah. I believe that my philosophy behind the whole positive vibe streams is if you're trying
Go
to force
fuck yourself.
something. Was that towards me?
No, it was
What are
a
you talking?
It was a
I
joke.
completely agree with you.
It was
No.
a joke. Go on.
That came out of nowhere. Come on, dude.
Go
Okay,
fuck yourself.
He didn't-
Over here
Okay,
for-
All right, so
Jorp, you did a put down, so now you got to do 3 put-ups.
All right, streams
Say
over.
three
Fuck you.
three things you like about Sunday, George. Do it. Do it right now, or this podcast is over.
I'd like to hear this too. Honestly, go on.
George.
1 through 3. Shove your dick in your ass. Go on.
No, not good enough. Be a man, George. Let's go. 3 nice things to Sunday. Go. You hurt his feelings.
My philosophy behind this whole positive vibes thing is that if you're trying to force something on your community, they're just going to think it's unnatural, and they won't, and they won't conform to what you're trying to do. That's just the nature of people.
Yep.
They don't want to treat you like an idol, There's a lot of people that do idolize people, but if you're trying to make people do something, they're just naturally going to want to do the other thing, especially if it feels so unnatural.
I find with the
There's streams
small,
that do
like
that.
with smaller streams like us, I find that, I mean, this is just for myself. I found that the people that idolize me, eventually want exposure from me. Like they want social exposure. Like I'll get, whether it's a day, a week, a month, I'll get a message or something saying, "Oh, hey, like what kind of streaming tips would you give me, or like, oh hey, they're the kind of people that'll come in a chat and be like, oh yeah, I just streamed, and I'm like, I didn't ask if you just streamed, but okay, cool, thank you.
Cool, great, I guess. Cool. No, that's probably my biggest pet peeve is people posting in my chat just for exposure. Like you know me, I don't even have like when people like a lot of people have like the host thing pop up on their screen. I don't even have that. I don't pimp people out on my stream. I refuse to, because one usually doesn't do anything. Two, it distracts from the show, and like three, like if I'm going how I show people what I like is I host people. Like I'm like, this is a person I enjoy. I'm showing them you because I enjoy watching them. Like,
Amen.
and here's how you see it by watching them. I can't just tell someone to follow somebody offline and expect them to like it. I'm like, here is evidence of who they are. It is now your decision to make whether you like them or not, basically. So like I that's the only way I quote unquote whore people out is like if I really think they deserve it. I'll only put them on the corner if I think they're pretty enough, basically. Is what I'm saying.
I gotcha.
Am I pretty short?
You're very pretty, girl.
Me out?
You're really boring. So you'd be high tier
Stop
too.
it.
Well,
Stop it.
mid tier maybe.
This my ass look fat.
I mean,
Sunday he could say nice things to me.
on that same note too. I mean, even me myself, I have to be careful when I'm like engaging in new or other communities, because I don't want to cross that line of I'm now promoting myself to where I'm actually engaging. Like I think if you're just engaging with a new or somebody else's community because you have the idea of networking with them in mind, I don't think that's, I don't know. I don't think you should. Like,
no,
that's just my personal
you should be
opinion.
trying to. It depends on how you see the context.
I'm sorry?
It depends on how you see the context of the word networking. Like, I use it interchangeably with, like, talking to people, basically. Because I don't like it in the first place. I mostly just say, hey, I'm going to go try and find some new streamers. Or, like, someone I think is cool, basically. And then, like, if they're cool, they're cool. If they're not, then, I'm leaving. Bye.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you should only network. That's such a stupid word. With people.
It is. It really
that,
is.
With people that you think... that you already like, first of all, because that's most important, and that you think your audience will like. Because if you're hosting somebody that your audience doesn't like, then you're just doing them a disfavor.
Yeah.
That's a word.
Well, the other thing too is, for me, I mean, I used to go in every month. I used to go through my follow list and, in a sense, unfollow people that I didn't enjoy watching. So I stopped doing that, because what is me following somebody really going to hurt? Like, even unless they're like a really, really like shitty person, what is going to hurt with following them?
Yeah.
Totally.
I used to be more hesitant with following people before I started streaming. I don't know what changed, but
Ooh,
now I'll follow people.
Now you just know how good it makes you feel when you get a follower,
Yeah.
so you want to give other people that feeling.
I like to see the reaction and see how they react to something like that.
Yeah.
I like typing.
Yeah, they don't even acknowledge it. You're like, well, I'm taking that right back, sir.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, because they should acknowledge it.
Oh, man.
That's part of that streamer
Well, it depends
etiquette
how
we were
big-
talking about.
Depends
So,
how big the channel is. Right?
Speaking about following, Sunday, I mean, that kind of, from my, I just want to hear more about it, because we only talked briefly about it, but like welcome bots and calling lurkers out. How do you
I hate
feel about
that.
that, Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday,
dude.
how do you feel?
Let me tell you about calling lurkers out and calling bots that call lurkers out. I had a Reddit post. I'll link it to.
Oh, wow. Way to whore out your Reddit post. Wow.
I'll call a lurker out if
I
they're
won't.
like a close friend, but I would never like call out a lurker that I don't know. Like, that's just rude.
I
Let
won't-
them do what they
I
want.
won't
You
do
don't
it.
know them.
At all. Ever. Don't.
Really?
It
Not
makes me
even
feel
know
so uncomfortable.
Really?
Mhm.
I mean, I've never really actually done it, like, because I don't.
I
actually
don't
look-
really mind it.
I don't
It's
actually
hard for me.
look at who's lurking. Like, I don't ever click like who's watching me right now.
Yeah,
I look at the
you
number,
shouldn't.
but I never
You
look at the
shouldn't.
people.
You
I
shouldn't
never,
as a
I never
streamer.
look at the
It-
viewer number.
You
I
know?
should have the same amount of entertainment that I do for 2 people than I do for 1,000 people.
Yeah,
Like,
but
it
you
should-
know, like straight up, you're gonna be more entertaining when there's more stuff going on in your chat because you have more to repartee with.
Oh.
You have more, so that's just straight up a fact. Like,
More
yes,
in
you
chat.
want to be as you want to be as entertaining with 0 as with 100, but you won't be because you don't have like the repartee.
You don't
with
have that,
everyone in
yeah.
It's
chat.
absolutely your choice. Somebody I was arguing with on Reddit on my post. He said, "It's your choice if you wanna call out lurkers. I'm gonna do that if I want to." And I said, "Sure you can, but your loss in viewership isn't gonna be your viewers' fault or my fault because I told you that. It's gonna be your own fault because
Mhm.
you're calling out those people and it's gonna make them feel uncomfortable. It doesn't matter what you think. It matters. See, that's something that you can prevent so easily. You don't have to call out lurkers. That it just makes people feel uncomfortable. It makes the majority of people feel uncomfortable. I'm sorry to those 3 people that have ever signed up to Twitch that like being called out. I apologize.
All 3.
Yeah.
All 3, maybe 4 on a good day. People don't want to get called out, and that's it. Like if you want to call people out, that's your own initiative, but you're gonna lose viewers because it's
Well,
just an uncomfortable
I
situation.
understand. How do you call them out? Like, is it like a? Why haven't you said anything in the
Oh,
chat
I
in like
mean,
half an hour? This person.
I'll give you an example.
Huh?
So
Why haven't you talked to me?
have you guys played the game Duelist?
Yes.
Oh
Okay,
yes, we did.
So I was playing that, and I was looking for smaller casts to not necessarily network with, but just to see
Mhm.
how they're playing and is there anything that I can improve on. So I was watching this guy, and I was just lurking. I was doing other stuff, and then out of nowhere, I heard like I hadn't chatted not once. I heard, "Oh, that was a pretty bad loss there, eh, Mr. Merce Gaming?" And I was just kind of like, "What?" Like, and I kind of put in chat. I was like, yeah, cool. And then I whispered him and was like, "Dude, don't call out your lurkers, man.
Yeah,
Like,
like
it's not cool." And
it
maybe
feels so
feels
awkward. I
super,
don't
super
even
weird.
I don't even want to because you know that they're looking for people to talk to in the chat. It just says, "Hey, I'm lonely. Please
Guys.
talk to me."
Guys, I don't know if that was Jorp's dad, but speaking of lurkers in the background,
Jorp, was that your dad, Jorp? Oh, he's still talking, probably.
Okay, if
What?
Jordan was talking, then I'm taking
Hi.
over this podcast.
Hello. I'm back.
Is that your dad?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Dad's ripped.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Stream etiquette.
Doing a podcast,
man.
God.
Doing a
Oh,
podcast
man.
here. So rude.
Oh man. But like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I've
Dad
never
calling out
been.
lurkers.
I've never had a welcome bot ever.
That's
experienced
the
that.
most like at least when you're doing it, even though it shows you're just looking at your viewers and trying to get more viewers. Most of the time, sometimes it can be it can be a good natured call out, but most of the time it's just awkward.
Yeah.
If you have a bot doing it, it's just disingenuous,
See, and that's why,
gross.
in my opinion, the way I want to build my community is that, I mean, hashtag I believe in the dream. But if I was ever to a point where I couldn't greet everybody that came into chat, I hope that my community would do that for me.
Yeah, exactly. That's the dream right there.
Exactly.
So
That's the dream.
I had there's only been one circumstance where I've had like people with like the welcome bots, like as soon as you post in chat,
You
basically
just
or
leave
something.
instantly.
Yeah, like no, I leave instantly.
It's so awkward to tell them you shouldn't do this. Like you don't want to tell them you shouldn't do this. Like it's
Yeah.
just it's such an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
So uncomfortable.
No, like
Oh.
I've only had one circumstance where I've left instantaneously where someone like actually called me out by name. And like nothing against them, they were new, you know, like they didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
I just said like, "Hey, you really shouldn't do that." And then I left. like
Yeah.
I whispered this guy that I was talking to you about, and like he was like, "Well, you know, man, I'm just gonna do what I want to do." And I mean, you're the only one. And I'm like, "But I'm not in chat. Like, you gotta understand, being a lurker means you're not in chat. You're in the stream and you're watching it, but you're not in chat."
yeah.
And honestly, lurking is a great thing because that means people are coming to watch you and not necessarily participate in the chat.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like,
If someone's
I-
lurking in your
That
channel,
usually means
it
they've full screened your stream because
Yeah,
they just want to watch you.
I have
or they're playing a game and they got
Yeah.
you on the other monitor in the
Mhm.
background, right? Because they like listening to you. And
I
that's
personally,
really nice.
with the way I run my stream, I personally have a lot of people who lurk basically. Like, there's a lot of people. I mean, that's why sometimes I have a hard time, like, because like chat won't be moving for a while. I'm like, man, I'm thinking no one's watching. I'll check and be like, oh, there's actually a lot of people here. They're still working because they're either like dead or they think I'm funny or something. You know, either or.
Yeah.
So that's great, but like it's not a bad thing to have lurkers, and it never will be. Like and that's why they've made the choice to not participate in the chat, that's their choice. Like
Mhm.
we shouldn't shit on them for that whatsoever. But they made that choice. You should encourage that. You should not try to break them out of a place that they're not being comfortable in.
Like,
basically.
if we compare it to like a dinner party, there's the people that are, they're having their drinks, they're having their snacks, and they're talking with each other. And then there's like the 80 other percent that are surrounding the table, just shoving food in their faces and not talking to anybody. But they're still enjoying the ambiance and the party.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. If I don't want to have like a dining experience that involves me having to talk to you and have a conversation because I want to eat my damn potatoes, okay? Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, Sunday, get on Skype, all right?
what?
Get on Skype.
What do you mean?
This kid doesn't understand any of my jokes today. Jesus Christ.
I thought you said you were funny.
Drop the mic. Oh,
I thought you were the entertainment streamer, dude.
Shit, dude. My heart.
For an entertainment stream, I'd like to hear you come up with a single original joke.
Okay, so this entire podcast is the topic of the day is now bullying Jorpin. Go on, everyone. Go ahead.
Oh, no, Jorp, I love you, Jorp.
Jorp knows we love him.
Please stop. Please
Have
stop
my
bullying
babies.
me. Please
Have
stop
my
bullying
babies,
me.
Jorp.
Okay, I'll take 3, please.
You can't give birth. I'm on to you.
So we kind of
Got him. Drown, you sick bastard.
we've covered.
Please direct this shit show.
We've covered basically like everything that we don't like seeing people do, right?
Yeah.
What's like the ideal chatter in your stream, basically? What do you?
Oh,
If-
I have some good ones here, but Nick can start because he had an idea.
No, I just wanted to, before we went on to like that, I wanted to say, like, does anyone have any like straight up pet peeves that piss you off even though they shouldn't? Because I have one.
I have a lot of those.
Something that I should totally be fine with because there's nothing wrong with it, but it pisses me off. I guess I'll start.
I can't think of any, but I know I have some.
Mine is when I'm playing Rocket League and the first thing the person says when they come to the stream is, "Can I play?" Like, I'm okay with playing with randoms, but freaking say hi to me first. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, "Hi,
Yeah.
hi."
It's
You're
kind of like
you're playing Rocket League. That's cool.
They're just
Hey,
being
do you mind if I
efficient.
jump?
it's
They're,
like
they're
those,
making
I
friends
jump in?
efficiently.
That's fine. Give me like one sentence before, because
What-
it's like the first thing is just
I
like,
get that.
"Can I play?"
It's like those.
And I'm just like, "Who are you?" Hi.
Acorn. Yes.
Undertale role players. Oh my god.
You
I
have
don't even know what that is.
you have nothing. You know nothing. The Five Nights at Freddy's role players are way worse because they get overtly sexual instantaneously. Like, holy shit, it's
Sexual.
Yes, it's weird. It's
My PTSD
weird.
is triggering. Okay.
Oh, weird.
I don't.
Oh,
Acorn,
man.
stop.
Stop.
Please stop.
But Nick, what you're talking about with like the people that are like, "Can I play?" It's like those, those random chat sites where it pairs you up with a stranger, and then
Chat
you're just
roulette?
chatting to them, and it's like ASL, and it's like, okay, god damn it, you're just a horny boy. Like, okay, bye.
Show me your
That's the
boobs.
feeling.
I'm a man. I don't care. Show me your boobs. Just lower the camera below your chin, and I'm good.
Please, I need this. All right. Please.
Please, I'm lonely. I'm 14. I can't stop.
My mom doesn't let me look at anything. Please help.
Yet I'm
Oh,
allowed
man.
on chat roulette.
I don't like people that are like I mean, I said yes, Undertale role players, but I just don't like people that are trying to be something that they're not. Like, I would hope that, I mean, this is the internet, so I mean, I have to take it at face value, but I would hope that you're being who you are. I'm hoping that you're not being something that you're not, or you're acting, or you're pretending to be somebody else in chat.
I think my favorite thing in terms of people in chat or when my regular viewers welcome the new people that come in, because that's amazing. It's an amazing feeling. Now that I've said that, it's just gonna happen ironically now.
Yeah.
Everybody's just gonna do it ironically.
Why do you think I haven't said what I like about chatting yet? Because I just know, like, tomorrow Ivy's gonna just say, like, all of them in a list, like, every single time. Like, I just know at this point.
That's my favorite thing, though. I think because it really makes that person feel welcomed. First of all, usually I hope it should on paper, but it also makes them know that there's like a community there that they want to feel a part of, because everybody's cool.
Like, again, that's why I see my viewer base as the Mr. Merce family, because I want them to know that they're, I mean, I can say that there's little to no difference, but like, I really want them to understand that, yeah, this is the place you can come when you're hurting, or in the good times, in the bad times, in the ugly times, in the pretty times.
My cat died yesterday. Please help.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for your loss.
I know you're playing Counter-Strike right now, but please, I need this.
What was your cat's name?
He was only on a
His
plane.
name was
Into
Nikolai.
The eyes of destiny.
It was Bonesbrook 23.
I'm dead.
Apparently
So
so.
to me, I like the person who's not afraid to make jokes with me. Basically, like that's my perfect chatter. Like, sure, we can talk about random things, but I'd rather use my chat as a springboard to make more jokes. I like improv comedy. That's probably one of my favorite kinds of improv comedy. I can use the game, but there's only I pride myself on being able to use the game as like a springboard for improv. But like it also doesn't hurt to be able to use other people. Like, you know, it's less static.
Yeah, the chat.
It's less static. You don't know where it's gonna go as easily, so you can't force a narrative, which
Well,
makes it funnier.
I mean, think about even like big comedians like Russell Peters. He massively uses the crowd for his comedy.
Yeah.
Like, he points somebody out and then goes off about
He
that.
calls
for
out
15
his
minutes.
lurkers.
That is bad streamer etiquette. Oh,
Someone's just trying to watch
Wow.
a comedy act. He's like, "Sir, what do you do for a living?"
I have a link for
No!
him that directs to a certain Reddit post. Hmm.
Oh man. Oh man. Acorn said something awesome. He said,
Yeah, I saw
my
that.
favorite thing in chat is probably when I get absorbed in the game for a minute and then I look at chat to see everyone having their own conversations among themselves.
Agree.
Like
Yeah,
that's
a great
the
feeling.
that's the epitome and definition of community. Like you're like, oh crap, I love video games too much and I wasn't paying attention. And you look and they're all just hanging out. Like
I
it's
know.
such a warms my heart. Warms my heart.
Yeah.
One day.
I mean, I feel like some
That's
people
awesome. Thanks,
try to force that too hard. Like I feel like that should
Oh,
come
yeah.
about naturally. That's a problem I have.
Amen.
Is like the
I think that's what Acorn's getting at, though.
yeah, like well,
Because
I'm,
it's
When
one.
it happens naturally.
It's also one thing to make a bunch of people come together to watch you because they enjoy you, but then they actually start enjoying each other in the chat too. Like that's
yeah,
a
exactly.
great
Like
thing.
I don't think I should ever force everyone to be buddy. There are going to be people in my chat that hate each other's guts.
Yeah.
And like that's great. It's not, but it's great because that means you're human beings and you're reacting the ways that you should be in a certain
And
situation.
you can't change that.
Yeah, and I'm not
You
going to
can't
chase
just say,
that.
hey, positive vibes, make like a positive vibes command, and it has all
Yeah.
the Josh OG emotes. You can't do that.
Yeah, Quasar.
You can't, because it'll just make people want to not conform to what you're trying to do. That's my entire philosophy behind it. I want people to do their own thing and have their own free will. And if you wanna be a jerk, that's fine.
Yeah.
You're gonna add to the twist of the
So-
chat.
Sure, you
Sometimes
can
I'm
steer it
fine.
away, but yeah.
Sometimes I find that my community, I know that they're there for a common purpose, and it might sound narcissistic, but their common purpose of being there is I'm streaming. So
Yeah.
whether they're actually friends with each other or not, they're there for that common goal of we're hanging out with Mr. Merce and playing some video games. So they are going to be nice. They're going to have those niceties. Oh, how's it going? How are you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. Oh, haha, that comment was funny. Like you're engaging with the streamer, but you're engaging with each other. I don't find, unless I see like actual friends of mine from Twitch in chat, I find that I'm very much that way. I just kind of am like, oh, that was a funny comment. Oh, they say, how's everybody's day going? And they say, how's your day going, streamer and chat? And I just answer it because why not? I mean, you could spark a conversation with somebody.
Yeah. And another thing to add on to Acorn's point is it's a great feeling when people outside of your stream, when you're not streaming or when they're not there, are talking about like their lives or the stream,
Yeah.
just the stream in general. That's really cool.
Like
Because then you've made an impact on them that doesn't conform to the stream bounds.
Yeah.
maybe I'm projecting with what I would say, but sure, like I wish like my like the people I knew like interacted more outside of stream. Like sure, everyone gets along great on stream, but like we always wish for some reason I always want my Discord to be more active than it actually is. And
I'm in
I
that
get
same
it.
boat, Jordan,
Yeah,
so I
like
understand.
I get it. Like I get it. Like I can't force that. There's always what we wish like as streamers would happen with our communities, right? Like I think we all kind of want to hit a point where we're like
You should have goals. If you don't have goals,
Yeah.
then you can't improve yourself.
yeah, but like these aren't goals I can like force. Like I
Yeah,
can't,
I know what you mean.
I can't like be like, okay, minimum 20 message in Discord today, guys, or it's done, it's good, it's
No
gone, you
stream.
know? Yeah.
Like the goal turns into more of a hope. Like you hope that it will happen this way eventually. Because a goal is something that is achievable and obtainable, and you can do it and speed it up or slow it down depending on what you do. But by forcing something like that, you're only going to, make the goal further and further away.
Yeah, exactly. You can't necessarily force everything. You can't. It's just like growing your stream. You can't force your stream to get bigger. If you do,
No.
it only hurts your stream in the long run because you need to grow naturally.
Well,
however
I mean-
however that naturalness may be.
There's forcing, then there's having a goal. And I think there's not much of a line drawn in between those two to differentiate them.
There is a major line drawn. What are you talking about? There is a
I
huge
think,
line.
I think some people handle it differently. Though.
There is
Like,
a huge line between view botting to get higher in a more played game
Come on,
directory.
we're not talking about that though.
That's
you
forcing.
mean like literally forcing,
That's what I mean.
or do you mean? Or okay, well, yeah, there is a line there, but I'm talking about forcing as in, like trying to make people do these things that you can't really control, but you still have that goal to get bigger. I don't. It's really hard to explain, but there's a lot of things you just can't control.
And it's about picking
because it's about people.
It's about picking the right game too. Like I say that in quotes because I don't think there is a right game. There's always going to be somebody that's going to want to watch the game you're playing. It's just about them finding you.
Yeah.
And with some, it's larger than others. Like I've noticed, like Isaac is a really easy one to get into to play and, in a sense, grow your stream because there's lots of people that are always looking for other Isaac streams to go and watch. Dark Souls is another one that I think really massively grows your stream. Although you might not have concurrent viewers from that. They'll join because you were playing Dark Souls and they want to see Dark Souls.
But you need to understand is like people can tell there's forcing it in that if you hate those games and you play those games strictly to like grow your stream,
People can tell.
People will know.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I play Isaac and I
your
play Dark
personality-
Souls because I fucking love them. Like, I've beaten Dark Souls like one, like I don't even know how many times at this point. I've told you I want to blindfold myself and do Undead Berg and just be like, yeah, okay, this is like I can do it with the back of my hand basically.
Jordan hates his life.
I love my life.
I've never played Dark Souls. I've never played.
Yeah, like
You,
you need to. Basically, is what that's all I'm saying.
you want to play a game that you like because your personality will best be expressed on your stream, and people will notice that. If you're having a good time, likely everybody else will notice that, and it'll rub off on them, and they'll have a good time. Or even if you're any emotions you're showing, like say you get mad at a game, or you get scared by a horror game,
or you get
it's
scared
gonna
at
be
random
fun
like
for everybody.
undead people screaming at you when you pick up items in Dark Souls 3 because you're like,
if you're
what the
just
hell?
straight
Why?
up, if you're just straight up not having a good time, you're not going to be talking. You're not going to be.
Yeah.
It's not going to be fun. Nobody's going to have fun. It's not going to be.
I mean, this isn't a bad example, but like I recently took it off my games that I'm playing list because I haven't played it in over 3 weeks. But Enter the Gungeon, it's a really fun game, but I just found myself being consistently like let down and like, oh man, like I can't.
Back to floor
I
one.
can't play.
Yeah.
I'm bad. Like it is really fun, but like I was playing that and Isaac, and then I was doing Fallout Fridays, which I still am doing. But it was like I didn't have a lot of variety. It was like, oh, I can play Isaac, which is like not a bullet hell, but it's got
a
that
roguelike
aspect of dodging. And then there's Enter the Gungeon, which is the same thing except for a little more fast paced, a couple different mechanics. I don't know.
Yeah, you get burned out playing like the same things over and over, unless you
Yeah,
can completely
especially
and
roguelikes,
utterly.
in my opinion.
That's just your opinion, man. But I can find plenty of variety in the difference between roguelikes, but I think that's because I've played so many of
Are
them.
repetitive.
They are.
They're repetitive in nature, so I think you'll definitely get burnt out on playing them more than a different game.
I got burned out on Isaac, and the only reason I did is because I was like, man, I really want to get Plat God. I want to speedrun this. And I played it for like 100 hours over the course of a month and on stream. And I was just like, holy shit, kill me like at the end. Because I couldn't do it because I played it back to back, like just straight up. Like every day. I may have played more than one game every day, but I played Isaac every day.
The Lost and the Keeper are literally like soul and heart crushers. Like they will just crush your will.
My Lost runs. Until Greed mode came out and I could get a what's it called? You know what I'm talking about. The item you take a free hit. Yeah, Mantle. Like I couldn't do it. I was just like, no, like screw
Like
this.
it's oh gosh, like I still remember doing the runs, and when you finish something, you would almost pass out with just like I can't believe that it's over.
Yeah.
And like people sometimes nowadays are like, hey, can you do a lost run? Hey, can you do keep run? And I just get like this sinking feeling. I'm like, I could.
You have like PTSD, like flashbacks. Like no,
Good.
I remember.
I love
remember
Acorn in
bloat.
chat.
I remember the bloat. It hurts.
I think I might
the
like
float's the worst.
I think I might like Acorn in chats more than I like his stream. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm kidding.
I love Acorn's.
So-
He's like my favorite.
Basically, after this hour, to kind of put a little conclusion, we're definitely not done talking about it, obviously, but we're gonna try and take some questions and involve it. We conclude.
I'd like to answer Snips's question.
Hey, Zach has a question first that I got down. Then we'll answer Snip's question.
All right.
But basically, don't be a dick. Don't spoil things, Fumar. I hate you. And that's basically
And
it
no
for
back
Etiquette.
seating. Do you guys like
Oh,
backseating?
we didn't even touch on it. Oh no.
Oh, man.
I never really had
Yeah,
that
we
problem.
could've-
Except in
No,
Undertale, there were a
I-
couple
I'm
people.
gonna touch on that.
I know one person I could call out that just cannot stop ever, but I
Like,
won't call them out.
There's a difference between backseating and giving like tips and hints. Backseating is where you're like, okay, now go right, go left. No, go back. You forgot this thing.
I'm-
It's
Yeah,
like,
I hate
hey,
that.
Hey, Strimmer, you missed a shiny rock. I'm.
that's okay. That's not backseating. That's like, oh hey, you missed
It's
something.
okay
But
to
if
the
you
point
do
where
it
like
over
every
and over
single
and
time,
over again,
yes.
chat, yeah,
Like-
exactly.
I've had a couple people do that to me during this game, Mother 3, that I'm playing specifically, but I really don't have a problem with it. And sometimes I don't even notice it because it's not like on the top of my
It-
priorities
it
list.
depends on the
I mean,
game.
it sucks, but
It depends on the game, but I'm usually Nazi about it. Like Dark Souls 3, like you should see my chat. I'm like, look, you even hint at something, and before I say it's okay, like I'm banning you. Like I want this
Yeah.
experience to be as pure as possible. Like
As blind as
I
possible.
wanted it to be. I purposely didn't look up anything about Dark Souls 3 or like know anything about it going into it because I wanted the same experience I got when I played Dark Souls 1. So I was like, you're all gonna shut up. You're not gonna say anything about this game, and you're gonna enjoy it. All right.
Yep.
And everyone so far has like loved it because like I know I haven't like I may have been lost, but like it may be I may get lost and may be infuriating, but that's part of the experience for everyone, right? Where
Yeah.
I'll be like I've only asked for one hint, and that's because like the person who gave me tips in the game like died or something. So I was like I have no idea where to go.
I love it when people when your chat and the people watching you know when to give you hints, and they're not like backseating. They're just okay, you're stuck. Here's a hint. You might want to go do this. Especially when those people that come in and they do it in a riddle form. Oh my god, that's so fun.
Oh yeah.
There are a few people that
I
do
try
that.
to make things
Answer
fun.
me these riddles for me.
A good like even me in chat. Realms was playing through Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. He got to the boss room and then it disappeared. And he was like, oh man. And he went back to the beginning of the dungeon with the mirror. And I was like, no. And I was like, maybe you should go back to that boss room and chop into the answer. And he's like, chop what? Chop? And then he like goes up to the blinds in the back and oh my gosh, there's a hole. And it's like,
I think
yeah,
I
that's
did
awesome.
something for you, Merce, and you were playing Mega Man.
Potentially, I think so. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Airman, or you're like use something on Crashman or Flat. I don't know. I suck.
I
at
can't
Mega Man.
remember.
I need a better gamepad. Gosh darn it.
So yeah, don't backseat. But the first
Yeah.
question we had was from Zach 1. Says, question for the
Fuck.
casters: have you ever had an opinion of a viewer based on their chat etiquette, and then have the opinion change based on talking with them in, say, Discord? I've only had my opinions change personally in a positive way. Like the more, because I get to know them better. Like when you talk, it's different when you read like what they're saying in a chat and then you talk to them. Like
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier.
everyone's
Absolutely.
only, as far as I can tell, everyone's only gotten better when I've talked to them in voice chat. There's only been a couple people, like where I've been kind of like,
Especially a lot of your viewers, Jorp. A lot of your viewers come off as huge assholes, and then they're super cool guys.
yeah, because
Calling you out.
because they
I'm
they're-
calling all you
yeah,
out.
because they just
Calling
like
you all
they
out.
dick around in my chat because I want everyone to dick around.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
and then you talk to them in stream like they're awesome because like you can dick around with them vocally and it seems they're from context being there that they're not assholes, but someone coming in can be like, wow, this chat's fucking like rude, you know. But like you talk to them in Discord and we're like, yeah, they're like great because they're dicking around. You can tell more with their voice, basically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've experienced that, but not outside of it. Like I've seen them in Twitch chat, and I don't try to let it show on cast, but somebody's bothered me before, and then they've kind of redeemed themselves over time in chat of like, oh wow, like they're not really as dickish as I originally thought.
Yeah, like it can really change what you think of a person when you hear their voice, just because it humanizes them more too. It's easy to look at someone in the chat and be like, oh, you know, like this guy, like fuck this guy, and then you like hear him talk, like, oh wait, shit, this is a person, like I can't just be like that.
Yeah, I mean that's basically my response right there. I can't think of any specifics.
Okay.
It humanizes them.
Yeah,
That's good.
When it's hard again, like we were saying earlier, to convey emotion in the chat. So sometimes you think that they're being dicks, but they're really not.
The next question we had was streamers. This is from the Snipsteron VHS, like, you know, those old things that us old people used to use, not like Sunday, who don't even know what a VHS is because he's 12 fucking years old.
I remember having to rewind it every time I watched the entire
Yeah, okay,
movie.
okay, all right,
Wow.
yeah. Go put
Sunday
your go put.
actually watched VHS.
I don't
Did any
believe
of you guys
it.
have like the rewinder machine where
I
rather
didn't.
than rewinding it in the VCR, they
No.
had like I had one that looked like a car, and you put it in and
Dude,
then it just rewind it for
Do
you.
I, do I look
You
rich?
just literally, you don't even want to watch the movie. You're just like, yay, car.
Yeah. But the next question is streamers. Are you prepared to eventually possibly get super popular and lose the ability to have a tight community where you know all of your viewers? Yes. I told you I'm in this for the long haul. This is my job. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I do and want to do for a living. Like I've prepared every contingency for that happening. I will make sure that if people want to talk to me, they will always have that option, even whether there is like singular people, hundreds of people, or thousands of people. Like,
Or he's in the middle of entertaining.
yeah, if I'm doing a stream, like,
It'd be way easier for Jordan
like, cause
than
yeah, it might
somebody that relies on their.
I stream 40 hours a week, so I will talk to you unless I'm streaming.
My
And fuck yourself,
stream-
which is 40 hours a
well,
week.
basically, because it's my job. Like, you can't
Yeah.
like call up someone at like McDonald's and be like, hey, is Bones there? And Bones like, yes, hello. Like, hey, what's up? Like, you can't just be like that. It's example.
But yeah, I would never.
Someone can't
I
call
never
you
would,
on the
like,
job
talk on
and be
the
like,
phone
so what's up?
at
How's
work.
it going, dude? And like talk to you for 30 minutes because that's you're ruining a experience for other people. Like,
Yeah.
like your boss is gonna be like, dude, what the fuck? Like, go solder that electrical outlet or whatever electricians do. I don't.
Soldering.
I don't. Basically,
I don't
and
solder.
okay, you can't do that. But I've specifically structured my stream, one, because I like it that way, and two, because if I do get big, I'm making sure that no one's gonna lose what they already have. Like, there won't be any
Yeah,
dramatic shift in my stream.
There's no reason for you to forget the people that have been there forever. Like, you don't have to. Nobody has to. No streamer has to forget the people that have built their community if they're still there every day once they've gotten big. Because if they still show up, then you can still notice that they're in the chat. You might not be able to talk to them as much because your chat's scrolling way fast, and that's just an obvious issue you're going to have. But it just gives you an opportunity to meet even more people that might be jerks, might be nice. And I mean, that's as simple as it is.
I think it's like, and like I said earlier, you know, building a community where you don't have to be the one greeting them, where your community will fill in those holes for you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I don't want to say.
I really agree with that.
Them.
I really
But,
agree
like,
with that because I don't think streamers should be idolized as much as they are.
Yeah, fuck
Like, it's hard because
streamers.
everybody's trying to talk to the streamer, and anybody, like, I don't know if I've ever had this happen to me, but I know that there's I've seen people that come in to say hi, and when the streamer doesn't say hi to them, then they just, oh well, whatever, and they brush it off and they leave chat. Well, sometimes, depending on how big you are, the streamer might not see the oh hey hello, and it's about those really really narcissistic people that are like, oh hey, like if you don't say hi to me, then obviously you're not worth my time because I'm worth $1 million, baby.
Yeah, like that, and that I specifically cultivate an experience where I don't adhere to those guys. Like, sure, like someone will be like, notice me, and like it's a joke. But if someone's like, if someone says hi and they're like, hey, you didn't notice me, I'm like, okay, you're right, cool. Like what do you want from me? It happens. Like this isn't about you. This is about me. You should be begging me to say hi to you. Okay, you're below me.
I think I hear. I mean, obviously it's like there's a little bit of sarcasm in your response and stuff. But for me, I'm like, oh, sorry. Well, hi, how's it going? And like, I'm not gonna focus in just on them forever.
Yeah, exactly.
But to let them know, okay, hey, they do actually know that I'm here. Like, hey, you didn't notice me. Like, why Why are you so mad? Like, there's a, with the big streams, there's a 1,000 other people in there with you. Like, they can't just single you out and be like, hey there, hey, what's up? Yeah. Oh, I see you there.
And
Yeah.
everybody misses some chat. It just happens.
Especially Bones,
No,
who
I'm
doesn't
not
even
that
read his
bad.
chat.
You're terrible.
Yeah.
You're just as bad. I catch you all the time not reading the chat.
Me?
Yeah, all the
Okay,
time.
so
Me?
yeah.
I'm gonna stop both of you. Both of you are terrible at reading your chats. I'm not even the community streamer, and I read it more than
Sunday,
you.
you miss it all the time.
All
Every
the
single
time.
My
I come
chat
to your
is
chat.
right here. My chat
And
is
you
right here.
miss
You
it.
always see me doing this.
When
How do I
you
miss it?
Which makes
miss
it
it.
worse that you
Dude,
don't even read
last
it.
time-
What are you
Literally-
talking about?
Literally the other day, you were like, "Oh, when did you get here?" And we were like, "They've been here forever, talking to you this whole time." And you're like,
Shut up.
"Oh yeah."
That was
have."
one occasion, okay?
That was like, oh my god, you're so blind.
The only time I
You're
ever
in
miss
such denial.
the only time I ever miss chat is when I'm like super focused into the game.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've got it right. Like, I have my game usually right here on my screen right here, and right next to it in big. Like, I pop it out and I make it bigger, and I have chat right there next to it. So all it takes is just a little glance over. I can see chat moving out of my peripheries, and if I see it move, I'll go and take a peek at it.
Yeah, I can see it right on the corner of my eye. I always look at chat if I see something. move.
Even right now, I'm looking at all you guys' beautiful faces and an anime girl, and
Hey.
and, you know,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Jordan's anime girl.
and I can see chat moving on the side. I mean, obviously this is a podcast, and we're interacting with each other, but it's not about interacting with the chat necessarily, because it's a different, not platform, different. Dang it, like blueprint. It's a different build right now.
Yeah.
But I have chat open just so I can see it and take into consideration things people are saying, laugh at things internally that people are saying in chat. Yeah.
I laugh externally. I
So,
don't know about you.
This is a little off topic, but this is one of my streamer pet peeves. I don't like when people, like when a streamer reads the chat message out loud to everyone. That's like one of my biggest, when they do it because I know some people who read it like down the middle. Like, I understand some people need to do that to concentrate on it, but like personally to me, I don't like that. Like,
Wait, what do you mean,
Depends
Corbin?
on what it
so
is.
like
It depends
so like
on
if
what it is.
I looked at chat right now, like if I'm sitting here, just imagine me playing a game and I'm like, I'm like, oh hey Sunday mods please, like Kyle forehead elegant lion, hey notice me asterisks, Rage like notice me senpai. If I read it out loud,
you mean you just want a streamer to say a response
Yeah.
rather than saying, okay, well I kind of like it because first of all,
It depends.
for the VOD, I know there's chat on the side of the VOD now, but I think it adds more insight to what the streamer is trying to say to the people who aren't necessarily paying attention to the chat. You'll say, somebody asks a question, hey, what color is your hair? Whatever, I don't know. And so I'll say, okay, blank asks, what color is your hair? And I'll say pink. Bam.
I mean you could also
I kind
be
of like when streamers do that.
you could also be like, hey blank, my hair color is this, instead of reading like the entire question. It saves time. And I think it feels more personal that way too. Like, I'm not gonna read the entire message as if this was a talk show. I'm just gonna be
I do think it feels
it's
more
this.
personal, but it's just something I've gotten used to doing. And sometimes I do it either way. Like, I don't know.
It depends on if it's like if I have a big answer to the question. Like, usually I'll always read it, but then
Really
if I
good
actually am
question.
like, oh, this is a really good question, then I'll read it aloud and then I'll have a long answer for it, and that's like the times that I will read it.
Yeah,
so
Nick,
that
exactly.
People who, because there's obviously like lurkers who are listening that aren't reading the chat, or maybe people in chat that missed it, and so I'm just be like, read it. This is what I'm responding to. So that's why I do it, and I don't do it all the time. I just do it for when it's gonna be a big response.
Like it's just like one of my personal things where it's just like, because
Oh, yeah, that's
it
fine.
distracts. Like, I can just like, it's easier and faster for me to just be like, oh, like, hey man, this is what it is. Like, and
Yeah,
and,
like Nick said, though, it depends on the question.
and it feels like less of a conversation too. Like, if I'm having a conversation with chat, if I stop, read a question, it disrupts the flow of a conversation. Like, I'm treating like people.
Yeah.
Like, they can, if I say something to chat, they can kind of assume who I'm talking to based on what I'm saying, as long as I'm like not completely out of left field, basically.
I think that's like contingent though on having a conversation with chat. I think that if you're, I don't know about any of us, but like if your chat is moving so fast, restating the question can sometimes, answer that question for other people. But at the same time, it can almost pose a topic to chat that then you can all talk about.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a difference between like we all make the distinction. Like if chat's moving so slow, I don't need to read every single question because it's right there.
Yeah.
But if it's moving really fast, like I sometimes will read it out depending on what it is, or if it's something I really want to prompt everyone with. It's all circumstantial, but I'm saying I'm saying that people do it every single like thing, no matter what.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I think it's very circumstantial and depends on the question. And
Yeah.
I think we can all agree there. Maybe finger in the air if you agree.
Yes, I think.
You can't see me, but I'm giving you the finger. You can't see me, but I'm giving you the finger.
Okay, good. We can actually
Peer
agree on
pressure.
something.
Put your
It's
finger
been-
up,
it's-
okay? Peer pressure.
It's been so fast since we can actually agree on something. There it is.
I just gave you the middle finger. That's all I did. So here we go. Watch the podcast. See
Where
it, see
is
it.
tall man? Where is tall man? There he is.
So there was another question. I honestly didn't write down who sent it. So
There were a lot of
sorry.
questions that I didn't get down. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
if you do have questions, please send them, put them in the chat. I'm copying pasting them right now so that I can get them.
No, just so we can get out of the way. Age, sex, location. I am 24. I'm male. I'm in BC, Canada.
13
Mary Kill.
13F
Me too.
Dustin.
13F Cali.
We're from Canada, where it snows all the time, and we have to like dig dog sleds to each other's houses.
I actually had one person. I was like, "Oh yeah," they're like, "Do you ride your polar bear to school?" And I was like,
No, the
no, I
moose.
ride my dog sled, stupid." They were like,
Idiot.
oh.
Do I look like I could tame a polar bear? Moron. This guy.
But the question is, what do you guys do when you're between streaming a game people want to see? I think Swag asked this, now that I see it. What do you guys do when you're between streaming a game people want to see where you know you'll get more generally lasting views, but you don't want to quite play it, and playing a game you want to that won't get a lot of new viewers? Mine,
We kind of covered this, but we can go further into it.
mine depends on my mood. So, like, I have, like, weeks where I'm, like, really down on myself and I'm really shitty. I only play games I want to play, because, like, if I play something I don't, you can tell I'm phoning it in. I'm just like, oh yeah,
yeah.
this happened. It's cool. Other weeks, like, I if I can psych myself up to be in the mood, like, I've played games on stream that I have not wanted to play. Agario. That I fucking hate that game. I tried playing that, and I was like, well, you know, that maybe there's a chance here. Maybe I can find something out of it, you know. And like I got nothing but people like people who annoyed me, and like the game sucked. So like since then I've learned my lesson. Like I'm better off playing something I usually enjoy more. I kind of make a distinction because usually I'll be like between a game like, well, there's Overwatch. I really want to play it. But, like, I will never get noticed. So it's, like, unfeasible for this being my profession to do that right now. And then there's, like, well, I could play the JRPG that no one really knows about. That's awesome. That potentially no one would really see, but also has more of a chance than Overwatch. So it's, like, I juggle that every day, basically, is what it is for me.
Well, and with Overwatch, I mean, I currently am having computer issues, so I can't stream it. But if I was to stream Overwatch, it would be because I'm playing with other friends of mine. And I just want to engage in my community. Like, I'm not expecting
I
growth
really,
out of it.
I really do like playing multiplayer games and having like people coming in and playing with me. Like that helps me have a lot of fun. But and then there are times where I'm like trying to play like a JRPG that I used to play that I love, and then I realize while playing it, I'm like, man, this is a really slow game. Like I was trying to stream Skies of Arcadia, and I love it, and I'm just like, I don't think I want to stream this game anymore because. Like, maybe it'll bring in some new people, but I just can't talk about this game when, like, one, like, random battle takes, like, 5 minutes. I'm like, I can't just keep talking about these random battles that happen all the time. So I just kind of started playing that off stream. And then on stream, I'd find something that I can, like, talk about. Right now I'm playing Salt, so I don't know if you guys saw that, but you're, like, a pirate.
You're a hard
And you're
fiddly
just
D,
like-
baby.
And I love it. I'm going to stream it more, and it's fun. And I don't expect any new people to come to that either. 'cause
What
it's-
kind of game is it? What is it?
you just spawn on like an island and you're in the Caribbean and you like make a raft and you go from island to island, and then eventually I found like an old broken down pirate ship, and you make your own map too. Eventually you find a sextant. If you know what that is, it's
Yes,
for like finding.
If you know what I'm
okay.
saying.
It's not a sexual object.
And it's not a
sexy
tent you
ant.
have sex in.
No, it's but anyway, it's really fun. Like I just found like a really old pirate ship and I fixed it up, and then now I actually have a ship, and I love it. I actually just at nighttime I was playing some really chill music and I was just sailing in the ocean while looking up at the stars and listening to chill music, and I was loving it. It was
That's
so
awesome.
chill, and I was like I love this, and like there were a couple people watching, but I was still enjoying it so much, and that's what I like. I don't care how many people are there, or if it brings in new people. I just really want.
And it's definitely more of a decision for like the career streamers than like the like bonus.
Exactly.
You do
I'm
it
not
casually,
a career streamer. I'm very casual.
Like you just do whatever you want. You don't give a shit. Like me, I have to worry. Like I need to worry about these things. It is
absolutely.
It is actively. It could be actively detrimental towards what I'm doing if I make the wrong choice. So it's something I have to genuinely worry about every day.
I'm kind of in the same boat as like Nick. I just can't play what I want. But when I play a game or pick a game, I know what will or won't grow, and I keep that in mind while I'm playing it. Not to in a sense, be more entertaining or less entertaining or boost my ego, but just to be prepared and be ready for what's going to interact and who's going to interact with that game. Yeah. Like right now, for me, that game, like you were saying, you were just looking at the stars, listening to music. That game for me right now is Fallout 3. I am like, even though it's super ugly, I'm just really just enjoying the exploration of everything.
Me personally, I've been pretty exclusive to single player games and games that I just like playing because they're fun and with the story. Like I played Earthbound, I played Undertale again, I played Mother 3. I'm trying to find the similarities between them all because the Mother series sort of birthed Undertale. Yep. So, but I have Fridays where I just play games that were requested, and usually those requested games are viewer interaction games, and I'll turn song request on, and that right there just gives you more exposure. But I don't do that once a week for the exposure. I do it because it's fun to have that shit show once a week,
Yeah.
I used to be like that, and then I learned that shit show is just no go.
I think it's fun. I don't know.
Well, like I it's just me. Like I used to play like Quiplash and stuff, and like that just got old after a while. Like, because it's not something I was personally in, so people would basically just be like, "Hey, what's shittier?
It's for the kids.
Jorpin stream career for the kids." Like that was every single prompt, and I was just like, "All right, like you've made this joke like 7 times over the past hour."
I think you should try it again. They're new memes.
They're no like that now that it's too late. You don't understand. Now you've said it. That's the only thing anyone's gonna say.
I kind of stopped playing Quiplash because it was like that, and it just got kind of old. I'll still only play a game if I want to play it. I fall somewhere between the casual Nick and the career Jorpin. I don't need the money from it. I want to
I do.
But I still want to grow,
Yeah.
It's fun to grow.
Yeah, my life outside of streaming right now is in like a lot of flux, so I can't really know what I want to be yet. So I've just been kind of like, I wake up, and if I feel like streaming in the afternoon, I will. If I feel like streaming in the evening, I will. But I have like my days, like I have Fallout Fridays. That's my big one right now that I'm just like, I am there at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I go until I'm tired. Like that's just the way it is. With regards to like Quiplash and like Choice Chamber and stuff like that, where you can play those. You
can't troll and Quiplash in those games anymore.
No, well, and even like with those games, like they're community games. I think that you can only play them, like once a month or like once every 2 weeks or something. Like you can't consistently always play it because it'll get old fast.
Yeah, and I mean it depends. Me
personally, I played a lot of. I played a lot of Choice Chamber when I first started, like I said, and I'm really glad I like that game because it comes with a lot of exposure. That's not the reason I play it. I play it because I actually like it, and I like seeing how far I can get, even though Fumble's like the best player, and I can never beat him.
Fucking Fumble, dude.
I know, he
Christ.
played that for like 27
I almost beat him, and then
hours straight.
He had the unbeatable dance. Like, dude, I lost on a technicality. Oh, I
think that's highlighted.
I'm fine.
I'm turning into my dad. My dad
well.
used to always. My dad. Sorry, totally off topic. But my dad used to always get my dad. I have 2 sisters named Mary and Mandy, and my dad would always get their names mixed up. He'd call Mary Mandy. He'd call Mandy Mary, and he only had one son named Nick, but he had a dog named Jake, and he'd get our names mixed up. The most scared I've ever been of my dad in my entire life. I was playing a video game, and I just hear Nick, and I was like, whoa, and I was like, what did I do, what? And he's just like, oh, sorry, I was yelling at the dog. And I was like, oh my god, like I thought he was gonna
imagine
murder me.
Imagine how your dog must have felt. He dodged a bullet right there.
Yeah, rip Nick's dog.
So next question.
Sorry.
So I think this was from.
But I'm doing it in chat. I'm getting people's names wrong
It's
constantly.
okay.
Like, I'm getting it.
So the next question we have is, what is a situation in which you would ban a person you've interacted with and build a friendship with? Like, at what point are you saying like this isn't worth it? Ban. I'm pretty. It depends for me. Like,
It's a sad question.
Once people become like my friend, I'm a really slow burner on like like kicking that person out, because I think, especially because I've seen like the good side of them. So I'm like, well, it's still there. You know, that is one of my character flaws as a human being, is I'll hang on way too long to like a
The
person.
fact that you say that probably means that you're not what you're saying you are right now. You're not a slow boner. You're not a slow boner. You're not a slow burner.
Let me tell you, buddy.
the fact that you're saying that right
I'm
now.
gonna attack both halves of that question. One, I can pop one in like seconds. All right. Two,
Prove it.
not right now. Maybe later. But two, no, I get what you're saying, but I disagree with you, because I know
I mean, yeah.
I'm capable of knowing who I am as a person and knowing my
I know.
flaws. And that's basically that's one of my flaws, is I know that if I know someone, I don't want to, like, if they're toxic, I don't want to get rid of them if they've been in my life for a while, basically.
Yeah.
But I'll usually give them a chance. I'll try to talk to them, because I try to be the person who's like, look, like, you come on, like I was just honest. I was like, both of you guys, like, man, both of you guys really suck at reading your chat. Like, I'm not doing this because I hate you. I'm doing this because you're my friends and I want to see you get better. You know, like, I'm gonna give you criticism so you can get better as a person. But it basically, if it devolves in the point where they're a completely different person and they're completely toxic to everyone else around them, like, you can be toxic to me, but if you start being like a dick to everyone else, you're gone. Like, that's my line.
I mean, I have some very personal experience with this that we won't get into. But
yeah.
I can agree, absolutely. If like you're cool and I'm a pretty slow burner too, I guess. Want to use that phrase again? I basically agree with what Jordan said. Absolutely. Like, I've seen your good side, so I'm less likely to stop being your friend or whatever. I guess we're just talking about chat and banning, but it goes deeper into friendship than that too. But I don't like banning people in chat. I don't know. I don't like talking about this because it's sad.
Deal with it, shitter.
No,
it's not necessarily something specifically that warrants somebody getting banned. I mean, like, it's easy to ban somebody that just comes right into your channel and is like, you know, shit posting or just being a total dick, than it is that somebody that you've built your community and they've been part of your community for X amount of time, and then all of a sudden they start slowly turning to the dick side. And like, and then what do you do then? Like, I think that you probably have a little more leniency, and if they're understanding, you can, whisper them, you can message them, you can talk to them off chat, and I think that you should, try to, work with them for it. But if there's some people that they don't want to work with that, so I think in that circumstance it's hard to do, but I think you might need to, you ban somebody for a bit.
No,
Have you learned your lesson? Do you want to come out of the corner?
Well, see,
unbanned.
That's why I like timeouts, because timeouts are a great little, like, oh, hey, you need a timeout. Like, I had one guy just being a dick in chat, and one of my mods was like, you need to have a timeout.
You literally feel like
okay.
in a like the parent. You're like, you need a timeout, young man. Go sit in the corner. Go sit in the corner and think about what.
Go to the naughty seat.
Yeah, the naughty seat.
When you
Naughty
come
stare.
back, you apologize.
Hey, but how about here's another problem. When a mod that you've known for a really long time starts doing some crazy things you don't agree with, and they've just completely changed their personality.
It's like I said on like a podcast like months ago. Like, if Ivy suddenly turned into like a neo-Nazi like one day. Like, one day, like, the previous day is cool, the next day is like, everyone should die, I am the superior race. And I'd be like, all right, like, I'd take them aside, like, look, like, okay, so first off, what the hell happened? Second off, like, dude, you need to stop. Like, this isn't okay. And it's the same place, it's the same as, like, with the mod. Like you need to, this isn't okay. Like, like, I've had people that, like, were my mods at one point, that, like, acted in a way I wasn't comfortable with them being my mod. And, like, look, man, you're a mod. You gotta, I can't have you be a mod and act this way. And then I've unmodded them, and they've still showed up for a bit. There's only been one person who's, like, really hurt by it I haven't seen since, and I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
see, talking about that, I'm wondering how would you guys go about that? Because, like, I've had like I've had times where there's like certain people I'm like maybe I should unmod them because they're not consistent enough with like showing up. Not that you have to show up if you're a mod. Like I know people have lives outside of my stream, but if you're a mod, I feel like you should have some semblance of consistency.
Yeah.
And I've had a mod that showed up like once in the past month, and it's like I want to unmod you, but at the same time, I really cherish you when you're in the community. And are you going to be butthurt if I unmod you? You know?
Yeah, and I mean, it's all about communication. Open up that line of conversation with them. Be like, look, like, dude, come on. You need to be here. Like, you're a mod. Like, if you're never here, you can't do that. Like, if you're not gonna be here, I'm gonna mod you. And then if they're like, well, fuck you, I'm like, well, oops, you know what? Like, this is exactly what I was talking about, basically.
It's unfortunate because I tried to open up the communication with them, and they were like, I was like, oh man, have you been like busy with school and stuff? And they're like, they didn't answer, and so I was like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, I was playing League, and I'm like, oh well, like I haven't seen you in the channel, man. I miss you. Like I miss you. They're like, oh yeah, I've just been playing League, and I'm like, oh, I thought you were like busy with school and stuff. They're like, oh yeah, well yeah, school and stuff too, I guess.
League is my school. It's overtaken my life. Please help me.
Teach me a way, Sensei.
Like I've only been a mod in somebody's chat once, and I was unmodded, and it was totally fair because my own life got ahead of me. I couldn't show up as often as I wanted to, but I wasn't super butthurt over it. I made sure that I was like for a long time. I made sure that I was showing up consistently, and that when I was there, I was acting like a mod and doing what a mod's supposed to do. And I don't think that there's a lot of people that really know what that means or how to do that.
Yeah, I mean it's a volunteer job. People don't really know what to do. They're learning it. And it's not like we expect anything huge out of them. Maybe bigger streamers, but that's a completely different story.
I don't care how often my mods show up. I really don't. As long as I don't see like a wall of mod like every day. Like I want to see like the odd mod like when people are talking, right? That's all I care about. If I have like 14 mods and like but I only see like one of them a day, then that's good. Like that's fine by me. And
Nick doesn't want mods to talk.
Huh?
Nick doesn't want his mods to talk in that chat.
Yeah. Do your job. You're not here to have fun.
That's the struggle. Is the struggle between having viewership and then concurrent viewers who are like, oh, those would make good mods, and then struggling with having that mod wall for a certain.
But the only reason I make someone a mod is like because if there's someone being an asshole, I feel like I can take care of that. I mean, my stream's not big enough that I can't take care of banning an asshole here or there. So my mods, all I really want them to do is to make new people feel welcome. Like that's all I really care. Like say I'm really focused on a game, like you said, I'm not super great at reading, not very good at reading the chat. So I mean, if they ask a question and then maybe there's a mod there that can help them out, that's really helpful to me, and I really appreciate that. And just to be like, hey, I'm new here, what's up? And then I say hi, and then like maybe a mod says hi. Like it's just that's what I want. That's what I have mods for. Like that's what I feel like they should do. They're there to like help me, make people feel at home.
I think that's the biggest thing among small streamers. But I mean, there's some commands I have that the mods specifically have to do at some points. Like just one I can think of off the top of my head. I have the highlight command, which makes it easier for me to find the timestamps of highlights. And the mods forget about that because it's a newer command. Damn it, mods, stop. I'm kidding. It's not too important. It just makes it easier for me.
I guess my mods also
they
make quotes for me too, which I like sometimes.
Like I'm the thing with you, Nick. It's just about like them, greeting people, and then even being active chatters themselves. Like they're spending time with me in this cast. I'm cool if they talk. The other thing of course
I'm cool if they talk.
I definitely use them for using my bot commands. Because whenever I have to post my own bot commands, it takes away from the game. And depending on the game I'm playing, if I'm having to alt-tab out of it or get out of the window, it turns the sound off in the game, so it gets quiet. I type in, the command, and then I go back to the game, and it just kind of breaks things up.
No, yeah, that's exactly. That's one of those things where like the mods kind of have to do it because like, oh shit, dude, hold on a second, like that's just weird.
Yeah.
If you'd be the guy who's like, okay, guys, hold on, I gotta go do a thing real quick, like quote yourself. Or something like that.
Exactly.
I think that's like the weirdest thing. Is like I've had to do that before. I've had to do it before because like one of the mods like I want to quote this but I can't. So I was like, dude, come on, don't make me do this. like come on, I feel like such a tool trying to quote myself right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something new to my channel, but I'm going to be doing days where I just make ad quotes available to everybody.
Oh,
But it has to be something that I've said, and even if it's taken out of context, like there's one that says, "Potatoes are delicious," and that's one of my quotes. Is potatoes are delicious because at some point I said potatoes are delicious.
I think what a
quote!
My favorite quote that I have is something like let the sound of my soothing voice like loosen your butthole or something. I said. And then it's like anyway, does anyone have a song request like right after? I can't remember exactly what it is. But I don't even remember
I have
why
like 200
I said
quotes
that.
and I can't remember any of them. The only one I remember is the first one. It was by some random guy in the chat, and everybody's like, "Okay, this is a meme now." I think he said "speam," straight up "speam," and everybody's like, "Okay, we're gonna quote this," and now it's the first quote in the channel. And I don't. And there's some quotes that I just see that I don't notice in the chat or added. And I'm like, okay, well that's there. That's the thing I must have said.
Yeah. And like if something is out of context, stupid, or too offensive, we as streamers have the right to go into our bots and delete those quotes. Like we do.
We do. We do. I don't abuse that right because like I like sometimes I see these out of context ones and I'm like, wow.
I'm opening.
Like, this is great out of context.
I'm opening my Ogbot right now so I can actually see what that's.
I think one time when I was playing Fallout, I said "fuck women, men are superior" or something, and it was taken out of context.
Oh, that's not. I'm doing the same thing.
I have a lot of fun quotes from Hateful Boyfriend that out of context
I have a Sunday quote.
Oh God.
My Sunday quote is butt stuff. My middle name is butt stuff. Sunday, Dark Cloud 2. That's all I got.
We do have one more question though, and if anyone does have any more questions, please feel free to ask them. Acorn asked this when he said, "Have you guys had to deal with potential schedule changes? If so, how did you handle it?" Yeah, I have to deal with this every summer actually. I have to change from full-time to part-time hours with streaming based on school, but I just let everyone know like, hey, this is what I'm streaming. It's going to be less time usually. It's usually just less time. It's not necessarily like a different time. Like last summer, I streamed 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. EST every weekday, right? And then like when I started school, I'm like, okay, this is gonna change dramatically. Like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I stream like 5 to 9. Like Tuesday, Thursday, I can do like 12 to 8, you know. And then even then, I think I changed that afterwards too because I got tired of it. And so it's just all about having a good line of communication with everyone, being like, look, this is what's gonna happen. I'm sorry, I can't control this. If that's the case, or if I've been honest with people. Like I had a poll for my new schedule. Like, look, like 12 to 8's all right. Didn't necessarily like it
should have been 10 to 2.
It doesn't necessarily work for me, you know. Like it feels kind of bad now because like I wake up so late. So I was like, what do you want to see? 2 to 10, 4 to 12, and 2 to 10 ended up winning, but it was really close with 4 to 12. And so like I felt really bad. I was like, man, you know, there's a lot of people want me to do both of these. You know, I'm like, ugh.
Alternate every day.
But like I had to just be honest. I'm like, look, this is better for me. I'm doing it this way. I hope you still enjoy what I do.
There's no problem with that.
But if you can't make it, I'm sorry. This is what I have to do.
If it's close, it should always be what's better for you, but there should be some say from everybody that watches you because they're the people that are watching you, and in the first place, you know, that's what this is.
Yeah.
And they should have a say, but in the end, if you don't have the physical ability to do something, then you can't do it properly, and it won't be a good product overall.
Yeah.
But I'm actually changing my schedule next month because I'm starting driver's ed. It's gonna be 8 to 12, so my stream's actually gonna be earlier.
In the morning?
About the same time, 8 to 12, yeah.
Holy shit. How do you wake up that early?
For the entire month of July.
I know. Pick me.
Bones, how do you wake up that early?
Like every day, easily.
How though?
I'm gonna have to change my schedule.
Bro, if you just do it every day, it becomes when you wake up. Like if you go to bed at 10.
No, that's not how life works. Okay.
That is how life works. That's how a sleeping schedule works. If you don't have responsibilities, slowly you just go to bed a little bit later until eventually you sleep during the day.
Hey, I have responsibilities, except they're self-driven. Okay. Shut up.
Exactly.
I'm gonna feel that when I'm gonna get a job as an HCA hopefully, and it's gonna be probably casual. So I might get called for graveyards or nights or days just at the drop of a hat.
Oh God.
So I'm going to be so screwed.
I'm so sorry. Holy shit.
Oh yeah. it's just something I'm gonna have to do. This is kind of like a heavy topic, but like I failed out of nursing school, so rip me. But I don't think that that's the path or direction my life is supposed to go right now. It wasn't because I didn't try hard enough. I tried my best, but yeah, no, I need to get a job via that because it'll pay the best.
I'm glad that you have the capacity to realize, it may not have been the best path, and like you can refocus yourself. A lot of people.
Oh, amen.
Yeah,
Man.
a lot of people can't do that, and I applaud you for that. Seriously, that's great.
I'm stuck as an electrician till I die.
Exactly.
Trade school.
I kind of enjoy it though. It's just really tiring a lot.
Yeah.
Axel has a good question.
Yeah, I was about to say,
If we have
Axel.
any other questions for that.
We don't. Wait. Let me double check.
Because I know there were a lot of questions, and I'm sorry I wasn't writing them down.
Yeah. So Axel Gray asked a question. He said, "What are your thoughts on all kinds of bot in-chat games like Banesight, etc.? Are they good or bad?" I have the weird opinion here. I think they're terrible. Like, I hate them. They're distracting. They clog up chat. They distract from the stream. They distract the streamer. They clog the chat so they can't read chat effectively, and they just make... They don't... There's no, like... I see no positive net game. Like, some people are like, yeah, I have the most points. I've got the most brownie points. Yay, streamer, love me. Like, it's not important. They're imaginary points. Like, you don't get, like, my Snapchat at, like, 2,000 points, or dude. It doesn't mean anything. Like, just participate in the community. Be friends with people. Don't come here for the points.
I think when a streamer can do the points well, it doesn't take up the entire point of watching the stream, but it also allows the people in the chat to influence what's going on in the stream to a certain extent. So people can make me literally dance on camera for the points they earn by watching the stream.
And hey, that's distracting as hell from the stream. Wow. That's exactly what I was talking about.
or just other little things like the sound effects.
Like I'm I'm kind of in a similar boat to like I'm between you guys. I don't think this is a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think you can do it right. But right now I have one in my channel and like I sometimes feel it takes away. Like there was a while back where that was literally all chat was, and it was like really getting me down. And I was like, ugh, what do I do? And sometimes people come in just to do that.
Yeah.
I think it's also something. It's like a Facebook game. Sometimes people are just lurking, and it gives them something to do while they're lurking. Like
if it turned into my chat where the currency system was all the chat was, I'd probably limit it a lot, or just take it off completely because that's not what I want. I think Jorpan, and fuck you by the way. The shake command is great.
You just need one person to ruin it. That's all you need. That's
I
all
like-
it takes, and it's
I
so
like-
easy to find.
I like the shake commands, but there's so many commands I hate. Sunday.
Command, you
So-
have,
on
Sunday,
my channel?
Sunday, you have serious.
Oh, yeah.
You have
Oh,
serious
what
command
commands do you
block.
hate?
You see, if serious.
I hate
command block.
I hate so many of the voice commands. I hate every time I hear hi, da, 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 and I like da, 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 like I'm like fuck you. This is so annoying.
what is the exclamation
So
mark
annoying.
shake? I'm confused.
A web page, something ducks walk
That one
on.
I like because I like
Da-da-da.
I like when I'm okay with people have to like spend a lot of points to make you do it so they don't spam it. But shit, when I just see like someone write penis and then I hear Jorb saying, "Hey man, that's a good penis right there." I'm like, "What the fuck is this?"
That's some good
Like,
penis,
what the
bro.
fuck is this?
My commands have grown over the span of a year. I don't just think, hey, I'm gonna add like 5 tonight. No, I add like one.
I know,
one a
but
month.
you should replace some.
You have
they're
some-
they're
you-
taking over.
You have some serious
I agree
bloat
with
to the extent where it's distracting, like
Yeah.
legitimately.
Very.
I really don't think it's distracting. and I'm,
but your
Hey,
chat
that's
likes
your
it.
that's your stream, that's your opinion, man. Like I said, I'm not a fan of this
Exactly.
in the first place. Like I've had this conversation with you before. I'm like, look, like I don't like it, but like I can ignore it when I watch you sometimes, and like it's getting to the point where like every other word I type in chat like causes like a voice, and I'm just like I don't want to speak anymore, like because I don't want to hear myself I don't want to hear myself verbalize.
see, I could understand that, but for me anyway, when I go into a stream that has something like that, I think it's kind of fun. Honestly.
Some of them, like I'm saying, some of them I like, but some of them I'm just like, okay, I'm sick of hearing that. Like I really hate the hi guy, like the one where the girls like every.
Hi guys,
is
hope
it
you're doing
gay?
well.
Yes, I hate that one.
I hate it too. That's why
that
it's
one.
funny.
No, you're a giant troll. You're a troll to your own chat.
I think that the point system can come in handy. Like I don't know when I'm doing this, so I don't like quote me on it because I don't know if it'll be like way in the future or sometime soon. But I'm gonna do like a spoopy Saturday where I have sound effects that people can pay points to basically in like the middle of silence like scare the poop out of me. And I'm a little girl when it comes to things like that, so it should be fun. And I'm gonna pee my pants.
When I did my first 24-hour stream, I put on a sound command that just air horns as loud as possible because I couldn't, and I knew I couldn't do it. But so it took 3 votes from chat. They had to type it 3 times. It couldn't just take one person to do it because then it'd just be spammed, you know.
Yeah.
So that was a choice. I took that off after the stream.
See, with 24-hour streams, I mean, I don't know if this makes me sound like an idiot, but I did one unintentionally, and it wasn't that hard.
Wait, how'd you do one unintentionally? How do you unintentionally
I
stream
remember.
for 24 hours?
he was trying to fix his sleep schedule.
I was streaming my regular Fallout Friday, and I was gonna be doing my winner game choice poll draw. And I was like, okay, I'll just stream till I'm tired, and then I'll just stay up the rest of the night. And then I thought about it and went, wait, why don't I just stream for 24 hours so it gives me a reason to stay awake, and then I'll go to bed the following night. But yeah, I was trying to fix my sleep schedule, so it wasn't like a planned like, hey, I'm doing a 24-hour stream, fam. It was like, oh, I'm trying to fix my sleeping schedule, so I'm
Well,
just
I mean,
here.
that's not like fully accidental where you're like playing a game. Also, you look over like, oh, it's tomorrow. Like,
Okay, yeah, okay, I guess.
that's what I thought when you said accidental.
I mean, you look pretty tired at the end of it. I was watching you.
Oh, I was bagged.
Yeah.
Because even before that, I had been awake before my stream for like 6 or 8 hours. So in total, I was awake for and then even 4 hours after the stream was over. So I was awake.
How did you stay up after the stream was over? I would have been like, thanks for coming, guys. Have a good one.
Well, my wife had gotten home from work, and we wanted to spend some time together. So I think I was awake till I ended the stream at about 6. I was up till 9, and I woke up like 6 hours before stream. So I guess total that would be 9 plus 24 is 33 hours. I was up.
Wow.
So
The longest
Jesus.
stream I've done was 13 hours, and it was by accident because I was enjoying Danganronpa 1
I
way
remember
too
that.
much.
Yeah.
I
had-
accidentally streamed 13 hours, 2 days in a row, too.
Mine.
I did that streaming Isaac once. Yeah, it was like 13 hours, and I was like, oh, it's the morning time. Goodbye.
Mine was when I did my 24-hour stream for charity. I only made it 21 because like I decided to play Ocarina of Time. By the way, Merce, this is for you. I hate Ocarina of Time. Like with every fiber of my being. I decided to play Ocarina of Time at 4 in the morning, like after I stream. So I'm not even done. Water Temple.
Oh, it's
I
not
remember
that
that.
bad.
When you hate the game, it's 4 in the morning. You're barely conscious. You're doing the Water Temple. You're just
No. Water Temple is nothing. The Fire Temple is
What?
infuriating.
No way. The Water Temple is by
I
far
don't
the
want to
most
talk
annoying
about
temple
Ocarina
in
of
that
Time.
game.
It's shit. All of it's bad.
I'd like to go back to the currency system for a second if we can.
Yeah, sure.
And but before we go way off topic, in things that might be distracting for some people in the chat, you can't please everybody. Like just now, Kyle said he didn't like the host thing, and I think Fumar said he didn't like the what. There's 2 different opinions right there. You can't please everybody. Like I'm happy where I am right now, I think, with most of the things, but there's always room for improvement. No matter what you do, you can't be perfect. So that's one of the biggest problems I have on Twitch is people trying to appeal to as wide of a demographic as they can, but forget who they are. You just burn yourself out so easily when you try to do that. And people realize that you're not being yourself and it's not entertaining.
Yeah.
That's all I had to say. I just wanted to go back on that for a second.
That's okay. I'm glad you got it out.
That's totally okay.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, like it's 24-hour streams. I don't know.
Unicorn.
I don't know if I'll ever do one again. I might do 2 12 hours back to back, but 20. I don't know. That killed me. Like
we were talking about
the
that.
the next day, I've never felt that bad, like physically and like in my life. Like holy, I woke up like and my kidneys hurt.
I always feel really good after I stay up for a long time and have a nice long sleep.
Oh,
I didn't.
don't have it.
I woke up and I was like, I'm going to die. Like I was like, today is the day that I die. I was like,
So
I'm
I
going
had
to
a mug.
pass. It was
I had a mug the size of my face full of tea, and I filled that up twice during the 24-hour because I was like, I need to stay awake.
Tea is good to drink because it's not as dehydrating as coffee and it still keeps you awake.
Yeah.
I wonder if I'll ever try a 24-hour. I don't know if I will.
don't.
I could probably do it.
Don't.
They're interesting.
I mean,
by the
honestly,
end of
the
it, you're
12
not
hour
yourself.
kind of killed me.
By the end of it, you're just like, I don't give a crap about anything. Like somebody
I
was
just
like,
need
hey,
a good game. I just need a good game.
Yeah,
and I can do it,
exactly.
no problem.
So
Ocarina of Time.
okay, all right, we're done here. We're done with this. So
Yeah,
so
you're officially part of the podcast.
so
Murph.
so Dole had a dark question for me. So if I had a chance to kill all of my co-hosts with legal repercussions, how would I do it? We're still working through the lawyerisms with this, so I don't know if I really want to touch it. We're still working through the legalese. I pleaded the fifth.
you know, Fupa has some good lures that we could hit.
Oh
up.
yeah, I might need to
Make
hit.
it some,
I don't really know if they cover like like criminal charges of murder. I think they're more for copyright. But hey, we'll talk about it. After the suit's over, we'll talk about it. But other than that, I don't think we have any other questions.
I have some news.
Well, let's
I
let
have a
Merce
question
go
for,
first.
For
Okay.
Jorpin, do you hate all the Zelda games?
Most of them, actually. I only really like the 2D ones. I really like the Link to the Past and A Link Between Worlds. I think Link Between Worlds is my favorite.
Did you play Minish Cap for the GBA?
I didn't because I didn't have a Game Boy at the time.
Too
so.
short. That game is way too short.
It's really short and it's really easy too.
I don't like the easy. I like challenging. So
know.
Zelda's never really been my thing because it's really easy, in the first place usually.
Yeah, no biggie. Man.
I mean, Ivy had a question, but we're gonna answer this seriously. Like I don't care.
Oh, yeah. I actually have. I
You
actually
want
have an
you want
answer.
this to be a joke, and I'm meaning this
No,
like completely
no
seriously.
jokes.
Yeah, like
No, yeah.
I'll
I'll answer first or after you.
would you date a viewer? Basically, is the question. What Sunday would you?
Well, not in my current scenario and situation, but
Well,
if
yeah.
opportunity arises, which it has in the past, and no, but
Sunday. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
Talk,
I'm
bitch.
not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say
Oh
it.
shit, dude.
we'll talk after the podcast, Nick. Anyway.
I'll
Stay after
tell you
class.
after the podcast.
All right, so yeah, because it's great to meet people who have the same interest as you,
I
especially
love
if their
meeting
interest is
people
you.
who are interested in me.
No,
That's
no.
my favorite
See,
interest.
see, that's where it falls apart. See, you can't have people that want to be involved with your
Stream.
be involved with you because it's hard to talk. I want to meet people from Twitch and potentially have a relationship with them in a different scenario that I'm in right now. But it's weird if they find you and talk to you from your stream because then they want. I don't know. It's really weird because I don't know. I thought I had a better answer, but it's weird to think about.
It's all about
It's-
it's all about circumstance. Like if
Yeah,
if they
exactly.
like walking up to me like, oh my god, I'm your biggest fan, please love me. I'm like,
No, you don't want
Whoa.
somebody to idolize you.
whoa, yeah, like, but
There's a lot of things to
It has
take
to be
into account.
50-50 all
Yeah.
the time.
There's a lot of things to take into account. The age difference. Honestly, like how far do you live from each other? Because
Yeah.
like long distance relationships, they're like 90% chance of failure.
Oh,
like,
I thought we were
there's
assuming
all these-
like you meet them in real life.
oh,
If long distance, no, not me personally, no. But I'm saying like if I met them in real life and they're like, hey, I found you through your stream, I like what you do, like, and like they were a good person.
hell yeah,
Yeah.
I would.
All right, well,
Hell yeah, I'd be like, my stream got me laid. Come on, guys, high
high
five.
five. Woo!
We're
think
talking
that,
about committed
um,
relationships.
like,
not
Guys,
committed
playing
immature.
video games got me sex. Who would have thought this day would ever come?
I'm a legendary gladiator,
Who
okay?
would ever thought this day would come?
As soon as Bones like saw that, he's like, oh yeah, like all right, in a heartbeat. I don't even care who they are. We're doing it.
I think that the definition of what a viewer is so large and expansive that like that's really all our answers can be is like
People are
it would be
complicated.
very it would be very very circumstantial. You know, for me, my answer right now in this life is no because I'm married and happily married and I
Good.
don't plan on not being happily married from this point on. So.
Bones.
And also, I think it's kind of a almost if it did become a business, you know, if it became your job, it would be mixing of like
It'd just be weird. Like, depending on how big your stream is, what are you doing in your stream? Like, if it's a small stream and it's just somebody, you're single and you met them and then you start getting talking and then you start dating them, well, then yeah, that's okay. But like, if you're a big, huge streamer and there's somebody who's been part of your community for a while, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere you're dating them, that'd be kind of weird.
It does feel kind of weird because streamers and viewers. I'm not saying viewers are like shit and. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Streamers and viewers
Fucking
are like
peasants.
two different. Yeah, I'm not trying to say you're all peasants. you're like what the stream runs off of.
We're not trying to say you're peasants, but like seriously, like don't come near us, okay? We're royalty. Like don't you bathe in the filth, and we are the kings over you. Okay, go to your surf.
I'll hug you.
Go participate
There is a line,
in the system.
and there is like some idolizing that happens, and I don't know if there should be or not, but
Yeah.
that's just what naturally happens.
And I mean, with most like large streamers too, if they've been in relationships that the other counter person is not a streamer or an online entertainer or understands the work, usually they end up getting split up, they break up, they get divorced or whatever. And then there's other streamers like Brotato, for instance. His girlfriend is a mod in his chat and like actively chats, but she's got her own, job and she does her own thing.
There's some really cool stories. Like I know of one specific story where there was a big partner streamer, like does it for his job, met a girl through his own chat, and they fell in love. They lived like across the world from each other. One of them lived in England, one of them lived in America, and they raised money through the stream to meet each other, and now they live together.
Oh, that's
that's
super
great.
cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's super crazy. Like, again, it's like super, like you said, Sunday, people are complicated. Like, it's super, super circumstantial.
Exactly. They're
Yeah, it's crazy.
just like love.
You can't give
Hashtag love.
you can't give a straight answer to something like that, Ivy.
But yeah, I'm free this weekend. What's up? Basically though, I think that's about it for today. We're about out of time, so we're gonna kind of do the wrap up here. Merce, you're the guest. What do you do on your stream this weekend?
I play video games. So this weekend, Friday, we got our Fallout Fridays. I'm kind of in a game slump right now, so if you guys have awesome suggestions, suggest them.
Do you play JRPGs ever, Dustin, or do you not really?
I haven't yet, but I do love RPGs. I love them so much. Right now, I can't do anything graphic intense because of my computer, but you guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitch.
Subscribe to my Patreon.
As Mr. Merce Gaming. But yeah, we got Fallout Fridays. I'm probably going to be doing some streaming tonight. I'm going to be doing some Life of Pixel, which is a super difficult, salty platformer. And you can see me scream and get mad, and it's a good time.
And you can find him here. We just posted it in the chat. It's farther up there.
Two beans.
I got you. Sunday, what are you doing? Are you finishing Mother 3 eventually?
I'm
Probably
finishing Mother 3 probably this week, and then I'm starting
Okay.
Salt and Sanctuary.
Ooh!
I'm on the last chapter of Mother 3. No, I'm on chapter 7.
Already?
Chapter.
Nice.
Yeah, already. I'm like 30
It's
hours in.
Mother 3 is
It's
long.
shorter than Earthbound.
No,
it's shorter
not.
than Earthbound. Like I think Kyle told me that. Somebody
Yeah,
else
am I
told me that
correct?
too, I think.
Salt and
I thought it
Sanctuary
was
is
way
like pretty
longer.
Dark Souls, right?
No,
Yeah.
maybe not.
Yeah, Merce.
Huh.
Okay.
I don't know.
Mother 3 was like a 60-hour game.
I'm not sure. You ended a lower level than you did in Earthbound,
Hmm.
but
I-
maybe
Alright.
there's like some crazy boss fight at the end that takes a
You
year.
might end it at a lower level that you ended it.
No, I finished it like.
Mr. 10 levels higher than you need to be when you beat the game.
Shut up. It's not shorter. Now the truth comes out, huh? Uh-huh.
But that they're
But yeah.
slow at video games? Yeah.
Yeah.
You
But yeah,
are.
me and Nick are actually planning a karaoke night.
Let's do it! Baby, 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 baby.
I don't know when that's happening.
I'm sorry,
but there's a lot of things we're doing.
I'm sorry, I'm confused. I was not invited to this, and I feel offended.
you can still come, but I don't know. Me and Nick talked about it first.
No, I'm not actually. If you
we
want,
we have one serious problem that we don't know how we're gonna get over.
Well,
There's
we
gonna
need
be
to
a
talk about it more.
There's
Yeah,
gonna
talk
be
about
a
it more.
delay for one person. Yeah.
talk about it more. Bones, what are you doing with your stream this week? Huh?
This weekend I'll probably be playing more Salt because even though I thought like that game was kind of like, there's a couple islands, exploring is fun. I keep finding more things. I keep finding like crazy cultists.
What's it called?
And like
Sorry.
it's called Salt.
Salt.
And it's like
What's it
Salt.
about?
Is it on Steam?
You spawn on it. Yeah, it's on Steam. You spawn on like Caribbean, I don't know, island, and you just like you scourge. You get logs, you get stuff, you make a small raft, and eventually you start sailing. And I was having so much fun. And there's no music in the game, so I was doing song requests, and people were putting in music, and it was like actually the first time in a long time that I've done song requests, and it was fun.
I requested the Wind Waking sailing theme when you were sailing. No, that was me.
Oh my God, Merce.
Oh yeah, that was you. That was great. I loved it. That was when I was like, at first I didn't realize that. Yeah, exactly. I didn't realize. I got on my raft, and then there's like the little thing that you steer, so you sit there, and I was like, I'm not going anywhere, and I didn't realize I actually had to go up to the front of it and place like and raise the mast.
Oh,
so I realized that. But I realized that if I went like this, it rode me forward. So literally, I stood behind it, and the camera, all you saw is a rod going like this as I slowly jerked forward, and everyone in the chat was just like, "Wiggle the dongle!" It just looks like you're shaking because it's right in front of you. So you're just shaking your wooden penis as you your raft slowly goes forward. It was one of the funniest moments I've had in so long. I should have highlighted it. It was so much fun. And then when I found out there was a sale, everyone was like, "Boo! Go back to wiggling your dongle." Like, oh, I think Scudo like 6 hours later, he was like, I miss when this was a dongle stream.
This used to be a dongle stream.
I was like, me too, man, me too. But anyway, I'm gonna play more of that because actually, to set up the premise, at the end of the last stream, I found the inn. The first thing I had to do that it told me to do, it said find an inn on an island, and I couldn't find one. I sailed for 6 hours looking on islands, and I finally found an inn and changed my spawn point. And then right at the end, he's like, "Oh, if you pay me $100, I'll tell you where the jungle is." And I'm like, "Okay." And it's so far away. Like I thought it would be like a couple islands away, but it is really far away. And I just repaired a broken pirate ship, so we're gonna fucking Saturday morning. We're gonna sail to the jungle and explore it because I've never seen a jungle.
It sounds like
welcome to the jungle.
Game.
Huh?
It sounds like One Piece the game.
It's honestly like Wind Waker the game. It's just going from island to island and seeing what little things you can find on the island, and then jumping right back on your boat and you keep going.
That's so cool.
I love it. I love it.
To finish it off though, my stream, I am gonna be finishing up Dark Souls 3 pretty soon. I'm about, I think, a little over halfway through the game.
It's shorter than Dark Souls 1, isn't it?
I've heard that all the areas seem bigger, so it seems longer, but it might be shorter.
There are fewer bosses but bigger areas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's just easier, or maybe we're just used to Dark Souls now.
No, I mean, yeah, like I've only died like 40 times, and I'm already I'm halfway through the game. Like, dude, holy moly, I feel like I'm doing well as hell.
I think you should play more.
I think I'm doing about the same. I probably died. I think average. Not average, but most times I die twice, and I beat it on the third or fourth try. There was just like
I beat bosses first try.
Oh, I haven't yet. I think I've beaten one boss first try, maybe.
I've beaten I've beaten about 75% of them first try.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason I like these games. I really get into them, basically.
And I definitely have the same problem as you, Jorp. I don't want to say the boss in case it's spoilers. I don't know, but the first boss you had problems with is the one that I first had problems with too. The one that you died a lot to.
Okay, I don't remember, but we'll talk about it afterwards.
Sure.
Other than that, I've got
me and Nick have some beef to cover too after this stream.
I've got two other games I'm playing actively on stream because I stream 40 hours a week now, so I have a lot of games in motion because I cannot play one game 8 hours a day every day. I'll go insane.
Boob game.
Senran Kagura, which is what Sunday is aptly named the Boob Game, is an anime beat 'em up in the style of the Dynasty Warriors that I can't even begin to describe. You have to see it. And
it's a boob game in the style of boob, 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 boob.
Basically.
Boobs, boobs, boobs.
But it's really
upskirt guns.
It's really fun, I swear. That's why, okay? And then the third game I'm playing is Fallout 4. I still don't know about that. Once I finish Dark Souls 3, I'm going to rotate in a Persona game. Persona 2 Innocent Sin, I think, is the first one. So I'm going to be going backwards and finally being able to call myself a real fan and playing the games that people are like, they're not as good, but they're still good. But other than that, I'll just be working on keeping streaming, hopefully, giving you something you guys can all enjoy. But other than that, we are done for tonight.
Thank you, Merce, for being on.
Yeah, thank you
And
very
no
much. You're a
problem,
great
anytime.
guest.
Anytime. I love it. I'd come again. I would come again.
Glad
Please
by
come again.
miracle we bumped into each other on the internet.
Hey,
I-
hey, it was all me.
I
way?
salute you.
All me.
My-
It was all you.
All me.
No, it
It
wasn't.
was. I'm doing it with my right hand.
I'm doing this. I think. Yeah. No, this is my left. Oh, so I. It's like.
Wow,
this,
it took you that long to realize what hand you were using. This is my.
I still have to make the L's.
By the way, you can follow
Left
any of
hand.
us at these links over there. I'm
Absolutely.
Insane Spoon Sundays. I'm Only Gay on Sunday. Bones is Bones23. Mr. Merce is Mr. Merce Gaming, of course. And on that note, thank you all so much for watching. Stick around. We're going to raid someone, as we always do afterwards, with our counters and such. So, hey, bye. You're great. Thanks.